Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's episode, which is doing a bit of a deeper dive into the ladies of Salt Lake City, particularly Monica, and where we stand on do we believe Monica or do we believe Meredith when it comes to the infamous DMs and Angie K rumors and lies. Also, we'll be talking about Heather Gay. She's admitting to being on Ozempic, and is she giving Bravo the deadly ultimatum of who she will and will not film with? And then we'll also get into just reviewing the latest episode, episode 14, Bermuda Birthday Blues. So with that, let's dive in. But before we do, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Okay, so let's go. So let's first talk about Monica Garcia being exposed, and then we're going to get into her mother's response. Okay. Actually, let's do it the other way around. Let's talk about Monica's mom's first, and then we'll talk about her being exposed. That'll be more fun. Okay, here we go. Actually, let's do this one. Okay. And as you guys come into the room, be sure to say hi, drop your candy canes. Also, be sure to just, give your questions in your comments. All right, so let's go. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Monica Garcia reacted to fan speculation that she faked having family in Bermuda after they, quote, canceled filming on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast trip. She then clapped back at her estranged mom, Linda, who slammed Monica's claim that Linda caused the cancellation. I'm just going to say this, wrote Monica on Twitter, addressing the allegation that she faked having family members on the islands. Quote, production spoke with my family in Bermuda, communicated with them, met with them in Bermuda, went to their homes and visited with them, signed stuff to film for my birthday and everything. So people claiming I don't have family there or it was a lie can continue to believe what they wish, she added. It will not change the truth. Her mom, Melinda, reacted to the tweet referencing Monica's claims from the latest episode. Are you also going to tell the truth about me not having anything to do with them backing out, wrote Linda. Don't just tell half the truth, tell the whole truth, so help you God. Dun dun dun. Now, as we all know, Monica and her mother have a very contentious relationship. They kind of go back and forth. She's called her mother saying that she's been disrespectful and she's been toxic and all of that stuff. So I get why her mom is saying, listen, you need to clear my name on this. I'm going to get into what my conspiracy theory is, what I think actually happened. So what we have right now is Monica saying, oh, it was my mom. She's so mean to me. She's so toxic. She's so hateful. She loves hurting me. It's her fault the family backed out. She told them not to film with me. Then we have the mom saying, no, Monica, if you're going to come out and defend yourself, and that's what's on the screen. So the middle screenshot is an alleged DM or email between Monica and production confirming that they're going to film with her Bermuda family. In the pink on the left, hi, Amy, how are you? In the pink on the left, it's her saying, like, listen, you can believe what you want. And then underneath it is her mom's response saying you need to tell the whole truth. And then we'll get into the other text on the other side. But that's kind of where the question is, because Monica's mom is like, no, girl, I had nothing to do with it. If you're going to clear your name, clear my name too. But as we know, Monica is super disrespectful. So this is what she wrote back to her mother. Monica then responded, revealing more to the story. Linda, again, very disrespectful, calling your mom by her first name. I called you tonight, no answer, but I see you're available here on an app where the world can continue to see this dysfunction, she said. At that time, I did believe that you had something to do with it, which I told you on the phone a couple days ago. You then talked to me and showed me texts and we cleared it up, and now I know. However, that does not take away from what I felt and thought happened at the time, she went on. I was blindsided and I felt humiliated and embarrassed and crushed. However, I still have no idea what happened and why they backed out. There you go. Your name is cleared. That is my Monica is a middle-aged woman having a teenager temper tantrum like always voice. Monica also shaded Linda for not clearing up the rumors about their Bermuda family. You could have gone to Twitter and confirmed we have family there since people aren't believing that. But this is important too. Anyways, I hope you can sleep better now since I have told the whole truth, she wrote. So help me God. I mean, eh, the public embarrassment, the public disrespect of her mother just continues and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Okay. Now, this is where I land on this. This is what my thoughts on this conspiracy is. This is what I think. I think that Monica's mom was helping Monica to coordinate the Bermuda family scene and storyline. Because remember, all the housewives are always trying to make sure that they have storylines. They have events, they have product launches, they have stuff going on that they can promote and show and talk about on the show. And I think that I actually think her mom is a really good mom. I think her mom's a great mom. I think she has done her best. I think no person is perfect. I don't think her mom is toxic. I don't think her mom is abusive. And I do think that her mom was trying to help her. Her mom agreed to film with her on the show. It was very clear that her mom had been taking care of her and her kids. And Monica would slip up and let it be out how, like, in Monica's times of need, her mother always stepped up and showed up for her and her children. And I think that her mom was being a mom. She was helping her coordinate the Bermuda family and all of that, helping her to get the storyline all for the show. Now, the Bermuda family part, I think this was her extended family. You know what I mean? Not not close to Monica, but closer to her mom, Linda. And this is what I think happened. I think once Monica flipped out on her mom, lost her mind at the Greek Easter party, lied on her mom, calling her Ted Bundy, had that weird dinner, disrespecting her, crying and all this stuff. My mom talking about my mom abandoned me when I was 12. Um, her being violent at the Easter party, throwing shoes and then stranding her mom there, and like all of that stuff, all that continual disrespect. And then Monica turning her children against her. Oh, shut the door, lock the door, don't let grandma in. Like, it was so scripted and so obviously bizarre. You know what I mean? I think that once all of that happened, her mom got concerned about exposing her family to Monica's on camera antics and lies. And what I think the straw that broke the camel's back was when Monica refused to let her mom come visit. Because I think her mom was going to come visit thinking, oh, I'll be able to sort of mediate, supervise in case Monica pops off, I can bring her back down. But once Monica said, you can't come, she was like, well, if I can't come and you've been in these streets and on these cameras, disrespecting me, embarrassing me, lying on me, acting like a damn fool, well, then I'm not going to put my family through all of that. And I think that Monica's mom gave the Bermuda family the heads up and they were like, oh, hell no, we out. That's what I really think happened. You know what I mean? Because I think that Monica's mom knows her daughter. That's why at the Easter dinner, she was like, don't go over there. Don't say anything. Just, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. And I also think that Monica's mom knew that Monica was probably going to go to the Bermuda family, is doing a lot of lies, doing the absolute most, boo-hooing, playing the victim, crying this, that, and a third. And Monica's mom was basically like, I don't want any part of this. I'm not going to have you embarrass me in front of my family on these screens. So that's where I think it landed. Do I think Monica really had family in Bermuda? Yes. Do I think her mom was behind them backing out? Yes. But I think it was for the right reason. And I think it was more of the Bermuda family saying, our loyalty is more to you, Linda. We don't know all this drama. Cameras in our house. It's very toxic. We're just going to bow out. I think it was a joint decision. I don't think it's what Monica is saying. I think she's lying. I don't think her mom just randomly out of the blue, because her mom is some evil, mean monster, was just, lying to the Bermuda family, trying to hurt Monica to get her to have her not film. I don't think it was any of that BS. I think that the most easiest explanation is usually what the truth is. And I think that just makes the most sense, right? So that's kind of where I land with Monica versus her mom and their Bermuda speculation. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think it was Monica's mom being toxic and abusive and just trying to hurt Monica? Or do you think it was Monica's mom protecting her reputation, protecting her family in Bermuda from Monica, who loves to play the victim, who likes to lie, and has been extremely disrespectful and abusive to her mother? Okay. Put it down below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Now, let's move on to our next conspiracy story and theory. Now, this is the infamous Meredith Marks versus Monica Garcia. Who do we think is telling the truth? This because the DMs came from, in my opinion, one of the two camps. I don't think the DMs came from a random stranger or a random super fan or a random uh, you know, ghost account. I do think that they were planted. Now, it was either planted by Meredith Marks' camp or it was planted by Monica Garcia's camp, right? So let's dive into this a little bit more because Monica's ex friends are coming out and basically exposing her. So this is from All About the Truth. It says Monica Garcia can't escape the drama even if she tried. The Bravo newbie was feeling the heat after Tuesday's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, as many came for her on social media. Let's break down the latest allegations against Monica and see what the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City newbie has to say for herself. So Meredith Marks calls out Monica over the DM drama. The Real Housewife of Salt Lake City OG appeared on Tuesday's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, where she addressed the DM drama with Monica over messages they received about co-star Angie. Meredith said, and I also have the clip of this, so we'll go through it and then we can watch the clip, okay? Given that the messages were all about information Monica had told me about on the airplane back from Palm Springs, she's the only one I called because I wasn't trying to spread rumors. I was just discussing with her the information she had given me that I was sent documentation of. So it was documentation about a conversation that the two of you had already had, Andy asked. Meredith replied, all the information that I did not know until that conversation. Andy then asked, did you think they were from Monica? Did it not seem like a coincidence? No, I really didn't. It didn't cross my mind that anyone would do that. Meredith explained, noting that she did find all of it coincidental, but didn't think too much about it. Okay. Fans then questioned why anyone would DM Monica about Angie. Now, this is the screenshot on this page. It's the very last tweet. And then I'll tell you what I think about what this person said. And then we'll watch the clip of Meredith from Watch What Happens Live. Okay. So here we go. The weirdest part about Monica Garcia getting anonymous DMs about Angie is that her casting hadn't been confirmed to the public during filming. So why would some rando be sending her tea in the first place? Hashtag Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. At that housewife guys tweeted. Looks like Lisa Barlow couldn't help but agree as she replied, that's what I said to her in person. All right, now a couple of things. I agree with this tweet where it's the public didn't really know about Monica Garcia. However, with that being said, because I do think it came from one of the two camps, either Meredith's camp or Monica's camp. I personally think it came from Monica's camp. I know that might be an unpopular opinion. I don't think it came from Meredith Marks. And I'll get into more of why I think that. But, I know a lot of people think it came from Meredith, but I think it came from Monica. But to this tweet, though, yes, John Q. Public didn't know that Monica was confirmed, but that doesn't mean that the people in Salt Lake City didn't know. Like, obviously, people in their inner circles, the publicists, the people that they go to restaurants with, the glam squad, all of that. The people in that world obviously knew Monica was filming for the show. So just because the public, you and I didn't know, it doesn't mean that other people outside of the cast didn't know. Production knew. You know what I mean? So it doesn't I don't think that anybody outside of either somebody from Meredith or Monica did it, but just because it wasn't known to the public that Monica was filming, a lot of people knew she was filming. So that doesn't really negate that it could have been somebody outside of the two camps. You got to really think about this stuff. Now, let's watch Meredith on Watch What Happens Live, what her response was. And this is why I believe Meredith, because I believe her when she is speaking about the stuff. Her body language to me seems like she's telling the truth, where Monica just seems like she's always lying and denying and crying. Lying, denying, and crying. Okay, we'll get into it. So let's watch Meredith on Watch What Happens Live. Okay, so what did you guys think? Do you think she was telling the truth? I did. And to be honest with you, Monica is more of a liar than Meredith is. And even to back that up, one of Monica's ex friends has, taken to her Instagram account to expose Monica. I have that video clip and we will watch it. So let's keep going on the story and then we can watch. Okay, so now it's saying, da, 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 da. Okay. So another fan added, her story sounded too planned out when recited to Angie and Lisa. Meanwhile, another fan shared a different theory. I'm going with Jen Shaw, told Monica all of this before the season started, and Monica did the DMs and tried to set up Meredith, dot, 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 or not. And fans are continuing to question, why would anybody DM Monica about Angie? So again, bringing in the Jen Shaw aspect makes sense. Now, this is the thing, okay? I was noodling on the idea of, is there a way that Jen Shaw is behind this? Either behind this or at some point was working with Monica. Maybe they had a falling out, maybe they didn't. Because if you really think about it, Monica has strategically gone against Lisa Barlow, who Jen Shaw was very much beefing with and in a fight with. And then she's also strategically gone against Angie K, who we all know Jen Shaw and Angie K had a huge falling out and a huge beef. Because remember the last season that Jen was on the show, Angie K called her out for not paying the $15,000 when they had Coach Shaw's birthday party at her house. But remember that I personally thought Angie was reaching. It's like, you don't offer to host a party at your house and then 5 months later be like, you didn't pay me. Like, girl, you should have had that all figured out before, and you just wanted camera time because you wanted to be a snowflake. So I would like to know what the status is and or was the relationship between Jen Shaw and Monica, because Monica has gone for Lisa Barlow's neck every chance she gets, and Monica has been the only person to actually expose Angie K on this show, not Meredith. Monica was the one who said that Angie K's husband was sleeping with men and cheating on her. Monica was the one who brought up on camera they're a part of the Greek mafia, that they have all this debt, they owe the IRS, thousands of dollars, they've gone into bankruptcy, their business is shady and all of this stuff. The only person who has actually brought anything to the show against Angie K has been Monica, not Meredith. And I wonder if it's either Jen Shaw fed all of this stuff to Monica before, if they're still in cahoots or something is going on. Like, I know that, Monica was like, yeah, about the whole I was going to be a witness against her. I had this funds in the Fed. She told me about all that. But to me, I don't think Jen Shaw is harping on that because Jen Shaw pled guilty and she's in prison. I think that Jen Shaw would hold more of a grudge against someone that went against her on the show because that's her ego. Do you know what I mean? And when you think about it, Monica has really systematically gone after people that Jen Shaw has an issue with. So there might be something to that. Do you know what I mean? And sure, she smiles in Angie's face, but every chance she is the one stabbing Angie in the back. over and over and over and over and over again. So I do think there might be something to that, okay? Bravo chat room on Insta then shared, Monica made the Finsta, sent them to Meredith and herself, and is now playing stupid. Production told Meredith to ask Monica about the DMs, solidifying her snowflake status. Fans accused Monica of lying about having family in Bermuda. It seems that some Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's fans believe that Monica lied about having plans to see her family in Bermuda, and she did so for attention and a storyline. Hot take. I think Monica had no plans to even see her family and lied about the whole thing for viewer sympathy because she knows a storm is coming. Bravo chat room shared on Instagram. Others felt there was something fishy about Monica's story concerning her family, with others claiming they got the feeling Monica didn't want viewers to see her family in Bermuda. I don't think Monica ever had any family in Bermuda to begin with, someone else tweeted. Another fan theorized Monica's family probably didn't want to be on camera. That's what I think. I think that Monica's extended family or family, after Linda was like, listen, Monica has lost her damn mind. She's out in these streets lying, crying, denying, disrespecting. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want you to be embarrassed. Let's bow out. That's what I think happened. I do think she probably has some extended family in Bermuda. I do think her mom was trying to help her. But I think once Monica showed herself and her mother realized, I can't control you, she was like, you need to back out on this. Abort, abort, abort. Okay? One of Monica's former friends is coming for her in a new video posted on social media. The friend alleges that Monica is known to lie to get attention. She also insists that she never once heard Monica mention having family in Bermuda. She also notes that Monica is known to have burner accounts and often sends herself DMs and text messages. Oof. This one is a good one. So instead of me reading it, I'm just going to let you guys listen to it from the horse's mouth because you know I have the clip. This is Monica's ex-friend spilling all of the tea. So here we go.
I'm watching the new episode, and I'm just going to say this. If this woman is willing to call me in the middle of the night and tell me after a fight and not being spoken to for a few days in full tears and tell me that her daughter got hit by a car. So I get up out of my sleep and I start to head there. She calls me right back. Don't be mad. She didn't get hit by a car. I just knew that was the only way that you would talk to me. There's your new housewife. And in 4 years of friendship with her, I never heard of a single family member in Bermuda. I heard of an auntie in Arizona, and I heard of an uncle and his son in Boston. Bermuda? Never. Okay, now I'm on the part where they are, spoiler alert, by the way. They're sitting at dinner and Monica's saying, we did hear that. This is what Monica does. She groups you, right? We said that. Meredith didn't say shit. Meredith's like, I never said that. She's like, we did talk about that. Okay, she was sitting there while you brought it up, bitch, in the last episode. But we did talk about this. Here's the thing about Monica. She has a lot of burner accounts, and she likes to send herself text messages. She likes to send herself DMs. She probably sent those DMs to herself and then sent them to Meredith and then sent them to whoever else from her freaking burner accounts. Keep it cute. Just saw Heather's last confessional. Now, mind you, when I do confessionals, I'm not sitting in the room listening. Usually I just style the hair and leave. So I'm watching it for the first time with everyone else. So, but I just saw Heather's confessional with the theory that I just said. And yes, boo, it was Monica. It was Monica. I'm going to say maybe it was Monica. Because I can't confirm, right? Can't confirm. But more than likely, It was your girl.
Yeah, so I believe Tanisha, and Tanisha used to do Monica's hair. And that's why she said, she's like, I don't sit in with the confessionals. I just do the hair and leave. So she's known Monica, like she said, for about 4 years. And they were friends and they had some big falling out. So she doesn't care about spilling all of the tea. Now, this is what I think happened. I agree 100% with Tanisha. I think that Monica is the one who planted the seed because I also believe Meredith with what Meredith said in Watch What Happens Live. So this is what I basically think happened. I think that for whatever reason, whether it's because of Jen Shaw, she's on some I'm gonna help the Jen Shaw get back with against Angie and also low key against Lisa Barlow. That's why she's been going so hard against her. But I don't know if it's in cahoots with Jen or just she has this information. So she's like, well, I have the information. I'm just going to use it to like make my mark and to be, the pot stirrer and then to also turn around and be the victim as well. You know what I mean? Whatever the reason is, I think that Monica planted the seed with Meredith, just like Meredith said when they were on the plane back from Palm Beach or from Palm Springs. Because as we know, Angie and Meredith were at odds and they were beefing and they were fighting. So she knew I could bring this information to Meredith about Angie, and Meredith will probably take the bait because they're beefing. So then once she plants that seed with Meredith on the plane, then all of a sudden they're all out hanging out and everything. And then they're talking about because Meredith said that she never said Angie was a part of the Greek mafia. She was talking about the history of Salt Lake City when they were walking. She made some comment about the Greek mafia, and it was Monica was the one that said, "Oh, do you think Angie's family was in it?" And to be honest with you, saying that Angie is a part of the Greek mafia sounds way more like something Jen Shaw would say, not something Meredith Marks would say. Like the whole thing about bankruptcies and owing the IRS. Okay, fine. I could see Meredith doing something like that. Like with Lisa's like SEC filing, sure. But the Greek mafia sounds more like something a Jen Shaw would think of. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then also, then what I think happened was just like Tanisha said, Monica has her burner accounts, and just like the other comment, the public didn't know Monica was going to be on the show, but Monica, the other ladies in their inner circles knew. And so she starts DMing Meredith. They have the conversation. Meredith takes the bait and she's like, "Oh, I got these DMs. Did you get these DMs?" Getting more information, just like she said on Watch What Happens Live. I talked to Monica about it because Monica was the one who brought it up to me. So that's why I called her to talk about it. She was planting those seeds first, you see? And so then what happened was, in my opinion, my theory is in the last couple of episodes. So not this episode, but the last one. Remember when it's Meredith and Monica brings up the DMs and the Greek mafia and the bankruptcies, all the alleged business fraud, right? And Meredith then doesn't take the bait. She's like, "What? I get so many DMs. I don't know what you're talking about," because Meredith is smart and strategic. There's no way Meredith is going to say anything on camera that could come back to her for her to be sued. She's not going to say anything off camera either because she's really smart. She's going to, you know what I mean? And when she didn't take the bait, that is when Monica's face was like, crap. Well, like, now what am I going to do? Because I was going to use Meredith to get all this stuff out here. And now I'm the one holding the bag. And then on the last episode, then you have to think about this. Why would Monica ask Lisa Barlow, of all people who she's been beefing with, fighting with, doesn't like, you're this, you're old, you're ugly, you're decrepit, everybody, she's going to go to Lisa to meet her family? Or did she go to Lisa to say, oh, I want you to meet my family, to butter her up, to then be like, oh, and by the way, because I know you still beef with Meredith. Because remember, Lisa was telling everybody, I don't trust Meredith. I'm having her at arm's length. So then she goes to Lisa and is like, oh, by the way, Meredith said this to me. And then Lisa Barlow, I used to love her, but girl, she took the bait because she's still in her feelings about Meredith. She takes the bait. Meredith is horrible. And then when in the moment she says, "Oh, Meredith is setting you up," you see on Monica's face like, "Oh, this is how I can spin this." Like she gets the idea on her face then. Like, "Oh, this is how I can spin this. I can say it was Meredith was the one who was setting me up." Because then, do you remember same episode when Angie then goes to talk to Monica about what happened? She says, well, and I didn't say this to Lisa, but it just occurred to me when I was like thinking about everything. It was Meredith who called me, and that's why I looked at the DMs, and it was really her setting me up. And I was like, girl, we just saw the whole thing. Lisa Barlow just gave you that idea, and you could see it on her face when she was like, oh, this is what I could do. I don't think that Meredith is setting up these burner accounts and sending documentation to everybody. I think it's Monica, because this also reminds me of the whole last season with Jen Shaw, the Lisa Barlow SEC filings, and the Whitney Whitney Rose bringing certain rumors about Lisa to the show as well, because it's the same exact thing when Jen Shaw had her burner accounts and everything going on. Because remember, Meredith at first was really pissed at Jen. She was like, oh, you're creating all these social media accounts to attack my family. You're going after my son. But then when they had a bigger common enemy, Lisa Barlow, all of a sudden Meredith was like, okay, water under the bridge. I'm going to join you, Jen, to throw Lisa under the bus. And when Whitney said tonight, oh, I think it's Meredith because I did the same thing for you, Meredith, last season about Lisa. In my mind, I was like, no, you didn't. Because again, we have to remember the rumors that Meredith was saying she heard about Lisa, about like the SEC filings and all this other stuff about distribution for Vita Tequila. Those were different rumors than what Whitney brought to the show. Whitney brought other shows about doing sexual favors and all of this other stuff, and doing sexual favors for jazz tickets, and she said she heard it at some game and all of this, and she was bringing all this stuff into it, and she was like, Heather, you heard the rumors too? Heather was like, I never heard that. These were two separate groups of rumors. Even Meredith, when they were drinking the white wine, was like, what? I never heard that, but okay. They were two separate groups of rumors, but Whitney is so nitwitted in her head. I don't know if she just doesn't understand that they were saying two different things, or if she's just really that manipulative and such a liar to try to conflate the two. But the rumors that Meredith brought to the show, I think are rumors that her and Jen Shaw either found out or they came up with to go against Lisa. But the rumors that Whitney brought to the show against Lisa, they were two different rumors. And that's when Meredith was like, I never said that, Whitney. You're the one who came to my house saying stuff. They were two different sets of rumors. And so when I was like, Whitney, Meredith didn't tell you to do anything. You came to her house talking about Lisa doing sexual favors and all this and for jazz tickets and everything else. And you said that your friend told you at whatever game you guys were at. And then Heather was like, I never heard that. Remember, it was like the guy, like the really like important rich guy in Salt Lake City. So it's giving those types of vibes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that, I don't know. I think it's coming from Monica's camp. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think it's coming from Monica's camp, or do you think it's coming from Meredith's camp? I tend to believe the former friend Tanisha about her having burner accounts. And I also believe her story about Monica lying and saying that her daughter got hit by a car. I know people, well, I know people, but I distance myself from people who are exactly like that. They will make up the most diabolical, crazy lie just to get you to do what they want. You know what I mean? So, to me, Monica is very dangerous. She's very scary. There's an evilness that is going on here, but it's all in my mind, it's all coming together. People using people and why they're going to certain people. It just doesn't make any sense. And Monica and the wrench in Monica's plan was that Meredith didn't take the bait. She didn't join in talking. And her friend Tanisha was spot on with her assessment. Monica kept saying, we did, we did, we did. And Meredith's like, no, we didn't. And if you watch the footage, Meredith, again, did not say a single thing about Angie. It was all Monica. And then even to further that point, at the dinner table on last night's or the last episode, Monica then went and spilled even more rumors at the table when she was just like, oh, they're saying you're all in this type of debt with the IRS and this and this and this and this. Monica didn't need to repeat that again and double down and then add more rumors to it when Meredith didn't say anything. You see what I'm saying? You got to really think about who is actually bringing all of this stuff to the show. It's Monica. 100%. So I think it's coming from her. That's kind of where I land on that. But I want to know what you guys think. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Dun, 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 dun. So with that, let's move on to Heather Gay talking about her Ozempic use. And is she making the fatal flaw when she tells Bravo who she will and will not film with? All right, let's dive in and see. So this is from All About the Truth. It says Heather Gay is the latest Bravo Leb to own up to taking the weight loss medication Ozempic to shed some unwanted pounds. Amid the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City stars candidateness, Heather admits that she hasn't seen a drastic drop in her weight yet. I've been on it for a long time, but hadn't seen much results, she told People. And I haven't had massive results, but enough for people to notice, which is great. You lose 5 pounds, people are nicer to you, the reality star said. I don't know why. It's just the way the world works, and that makes me sad for women, but happy that I'm down 5. Girl. I have 3 daughters that I love, and I don't want them to have my genetics or have to struggle with society's standards of beauty, she added. I just wish that there was a solution for all of us, but I'm feeling like I'm coming into my own a little bit. And I think the glow up might be a little bit from that too, but I'll credit all to the medical interventions. It's my business. Meanwhile, during an interview with Variety at their Women in Reality TV dinner, Heather vowed that she would never film with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City co-star Monica Garcia again after their ongoing lawsuits against each other. As we reported, Heather's company, Beauty Lab and Laser, first sued Monica in August over missed payments from treatments she began receiving in December of 2019. Monica agreed to pay $2,449 for the treatments, but she only paid $449 to date. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City newbie then countersued in November, claiming the procedures she received at Beauty Lab and Laser were botched and negligently performed. Monica is seeking $50,000 from Beauty Lab and Laser after needing to see a competent party to fix the damage to Monica's nose and lips caused by the incompetent, negligent actions of Beauty Lab's staff. Now, this is the thing. You guys know where I stand on this. I think that Monica stiffed Beauty Lab and Laser because, as we know, she's known to not pay her bills. She's known to lie and scheme and scam and play victim. And I think the countersuit is bogus. I think the only reason why she's countersuing for $50K is because she wants to intimidate and bully Heather and Beauty Lab into dropping their case against her, which I hope they don't. I want them to really see it through and have her, have the consequences of her actions. She says, I don't think I will ever. It's pretty definitive for myself. I can't speak for my other cast members, but for me, it's pretty clear, Heather told the outlet about filming with Monica. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City OG notes that recently filmed the season 4 reunion didn't resolve her ongoing drama with Monica. The resolution wasn't typical of a reunion, I don't think, the Bad Mormon author continued. She also noted that the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's fans are in for a lot of shocks and surprises as season 4 concludes in the upcoming weeks. Some surprises will arise during the season 4 cast trip to Bermuda, according to Bermuda. According to Heather, what goes on in Bermuda is beyond anything I've ever experienced in my own life or anything I've seen on television, adding, the way it all exploded and didn't really resolve at the reunion is something to watch for as well. So, with that, I now don't think that the phone call in Bermuda is about the beauty lab and laser, or maybe it is. She said it wasn't resolved. So, one second. So I want to know what you guys think, Do you think that the Bermuda meltdown call is about the beauty lab and laser lawsuit? That's when she realizes it's Monica Garcia who is the one who stiffed her company. Or do you think it's about something else? Something totally new that none of us have thought about, something new that hasn't been discussed. Do you think it's something totally different? Because remember, she did say nothing was resolved at the reunion either way. So let me know what you guys think. And then what do you think about Heather being on Ozempic? I'm happy that she's being honest about it and that she's sharing her journey and her personal reasons why she's taking it. I think people have to do what they have to do, and I try not to. I do like to do light shades and kikis, but I try not to judge. And so I think people have to do what they have to do. I think as long as the drug is still accessible to people with diabetes and to people who may be from a lower income than all of these celebrities. Like I heard this one content creator was like, why are people saying there's a shortage of Ozempic? No, there's not. Like all the celebrities are on them. And in my mind, I was just like, wow, your privilege is showing. That's why there's a shortage, because all of these people are taking the medicine from the people who don't have access and who don't have money and who don't have connections. So for me, as long as there's no shortage of it for people who suffer from diabetes and they need it to like live, then fine, do you, boo boo. You know what I'm saying? So at least she's being honest about it and transparent and not being like, oh, I'm just, running and eating celery every single day. I'm looking at you, Kyle. But put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to talking about the latest episode. Okay, let's do a quick review of the episode itself. So here we go. All right. So for me, the episode with Heather's meltdown phone call, it better be the next one. Like I have fatigue. I am super tired. I'm kind of over the anticipation of it, like at this point, it really has to be something shocking. I really hope it's nothing that we have discussed or talked about. It can't be Beauty Lab. Like at this point, it needs to be something so outrageous and so shocking that none of us would have ever seen it coming. Okay. But this episode was a good primer for, taking sides and people being against other people. So there's Meredith versus Lisa, Monica, and Angie. I am obviously team Meredith. I honestly don't think she was behind the DMs. I really think it was Monica. I really do. I think that Meredith has done shady stuff? 100%. But this, I don't think so. I really think it was Monica. And then we have Whitney versus Heather, and I'm obviously team Heather on that one as well. So let's move on to Monica. Okay. So Monica, again, she's lying about not having birthdays. Like, I'm so tired of her trying to play this, like, poor, woe is me, orphan Annie person. I can't believe you guys had, croissants for my birthday. Is this a mimosa? Oh my God. Like, girl, stop. You've had birthdays before. You have girlfriends who have thrown you birthdays before. And she even admitted that her ex-husband now, her husband at the time, her ex-husband, family, he obviously has money. And he comes from a family with money, and also like they had the more like traditional family parties and holidays and everything. So I'm pretty sure that a part of all of that traditional family life They had birthday parties for you. So, girl, bye. Please stop playing the victim, okay? Stop. Now, when it came to her mom not going to therapy, that didn't prove anything. It didn't prove that Monica's mom is mean. I'm so tired of this broken horse of Monica's mom being toxic and abusive. Stop it. Like, y'all, stop, Monica, stop. Her mom probably didn't want to film it. And to be honest with you, I'm happy she didn't, because I'm tired of these fake therapy scenes that we keep seeing in reality TV. Every single time something comes up, let's hire, 1-800 reality therapist, and they're doing these fake scenes. If I was the mom, I wouldn't show up either. Because if you really want to work on your family stuff, you're going to do it in private. You're going to be able to really talk about, the trauma and the chaos and the dysfunction without having camera crews around. Everybody doesn't want their family business on Front Street. So just because the mom didn't show up to be filmed for therapy doesn't make her a bad mom. It just means Monica said, I'll go to therapy if we can film it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, Monica asking Heather if her daughter is having sex yet was completely inappropriate and disgusting. Oh, I forgot to finish this sentence. And nobody was sex shaming Monica. So again, that's why I'm saying Monica, she is diabolical and very scary, because she takes situations and she has this bizarre ability to make herself the victim no matter what. She's like, I was sex shamed on the bus. No, you weren't. Nobody said anything about your sex life. Whether you have it or you don't, nobody was talking about your sex life. You were not sex shamed at all. Like, you need a dictionary to look up what it means, because you're using it incorrectly and you're not a victim. I thought it was very, very inappropriate for her to ask Heather if her daughter was having sex. Extremely inappropriate. I don't care how old her daughter is. I think her daughter was like in college or something. I don't care how old she is. It was very inappropriate and very disgusting. Very disgusting. Ugh. Anyway, now let's talk about the Bermuda family canceling. Now, if I were Monica's mom, I would have canceled the Bermuda trip too. Because number one, how are you going to be like, yeah, I want to go to Bermuda to have a family reunion, but mom, you can't come? How do you disinvite your mother to a family reunion that's her family? Girl, bye. Plus, like I said before, I do think that Monica's mom, Linda, was like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to about to have my family embarrassed by Monica's actions. Not just on camera, but in general. It would be embarrassing to have a daughter like Monica. Super embarrassing how she's treating her mother. No way. No way. So I'm with Linda on this one. I would have put the kibosh on it too. 100%. You're not about to embarrass me. You're not about to disrespect me in front of all this camera, in front of my family. You've lost your mind. You got to draw the line somewhere, right? And then her temper tantrum it just reminded me of like a toddler who really wants a lollipop and is crying and is hyperventilating and is kind of seeing like, can I get the lollipop now? Like, she was doing the most. Like, you guys, my mom, and nobody wants me, and I'm all alone. I was just like, girl, like, my niece has more convincing temper tantrums than you do, and she is an actual child. You know when kids like fake, like, like, and you're like, stop, you're about to like pass out. Like, you're not that upset. You're just trying to get what you want. It was so over the top, and it was so fake, and it was so childish. And I'm like, didn't you just turn like middle-aged? Like, you just were talking about welcome to middle age, and now you're having a convulsion temper tantrum like a child. Girl, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's too much. It's too much. Now, again, we got to think about motives. Why would Monica invite Lisa, of all people? We know she can't stand Lisa, to be the one person to go visit her family. Doesn't make any sense. The first person she should have asked would have been Heather, because Heather was the one she was closest to. Heather was the one who got the entire trip together to go to Bermuda to meet her family for her birthday. So if any of the girls are going to go with Angie to see her family first, it would be Heather, not Lisa. The only reason why she chose Lisa was because she wanted to butter her up to plant the information about Meredith versus Angie and the DMs. And she knew Lisa would take the bait because Lisa is still in her feelings about Meredith talking about her business and the SEC filings. You know what I mean? Like, Monica might be dumb, but she's not stupid. You get what I'm saying? She's not stupid. She's very manipulative, very, very calculated. She's a very calculated fake person. Very, very calculated. I don't think she does anything without a reason. I think she's actually that calculated and manipulative. She found her way to a snowflake somehow, some way. And I don't think it was by chance, you know? Also, it's also always hard to watch when, and this happens a lot with the housewives, when they treat their children like adults. When they treat their children like the children is the mother, is the parent, and they treat them like a child. We see that with her and Brie. She's like, Brie came out the womb as an old soul. Did she? Or is her personality the way she copes with having a very narcissistic, emotionally unavailable, immature mother? Is her personality like an adult, or did she have to become an adult because you weren't one? And now she has to take care of her younger children while she's also taking care of you. And so she doesn't get to be a kid because she has to be the adult. It's giving very Teresa and Gia vibes. You know, we see this a lot with the housewives where the mother is narcissistic, she's emotionally stunted, and she treats usually the eldest daughter or one of the daughters, or sometimes it's even the sons, like they're the parent. And that always makes me sad to watch. So I feel my heart goes out to Brie because she's clearly being the mom of the house when she shouldn't have to be at such a young age. Okay. Now, let's go on to Miss Angie. To me, Angie is so low energy and it's a bore for me. Angie is a no. She kind of looks like in this photo, she looks like Anna Marie from Beverly Hills, foot vibes. Anyway, to me, this could be a one and done for Angie. I don't need her to come back next season. I really, really don't. Even when she talks, I'm like, I'm falling asleep, okay? Now, Angie's response to Heather not talking about her daughter's sex life, again, this is why we don't need Angie. She has no type of, I don't even know what the word is, like, she's just not sophisticated in a sense, or she doesn't have any common sense. That's what it is. Angie to me is a person who doesn't have any common sense. She gets played, she lets people play her, and she's kind of like, you know, I don't know, like idiotic, but I'm not saying that in like a derogatory way because I don't know what words I can say and not say. Like, I'm not trying to get canceled. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but she just seems very like, like she doesn't get stuff. Like, it had nothing to do with religion. Why Heather held the boundary of, we're not going to discuss my daughter's sex life right now. That had nothing to do with religion. It had to do with common decency. It had to do with respect for her child. It had to do with having healthy boundaries. It had nothing to do with religion. And so she's up here like, well, you know, when you're in the Salt Lake City and Mormon, it's just so indoctrinated in you and you can't, like, no, it had nothing to do with religion, sweetheart. Like, think for yourself. I know the producers fed you that line because, to be honest, the producers half the time have no idea what the hell they're doing or talking about. They feed the housewife these ridiculous lines and they just regurgitate them. And I'm like, are the producers not watching the show? Like, it's ridiculous. That's half the problem, is the producers don't know what the hell they're doing. They really don't. They don't. That's why we're up here and we have screenshots and receipts and people coming out and all of this stuff, debunking everything everybody's saying on the television, because the producers aren't doing their jobs. They're really not. Anyway, now this was Angie's biggest misstep when it came to the rumors that Monica said about Meredith and the DMs and all of that stuff. It's the same exact misstep that Dr. Wendy did on RHOBH when Ashley brought her the information that Nneka allegedly said about, Oshun and all that stuff, she didn't go to the source to get their side first before believing and accusing. And that is where you will always go wrong. If anybody, and I mean anybody, comes to me and says, hey, Candy Girl, this person is talking about you. They're saying this, 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 and this, and this, and this. Depending on who was saying it to me, I'm either going to let it go in one ear out the other. If I think this is something I need to address, I'm not just going to believe that person. I'm going to say, okay. And then I'm going to go talk to the source themselves and say, hey, listen, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just giving you the heads up, because I would play it, right? I'd be like, I'm giving you the heads up. This is what this person is saying or saying about me. Like, if you said it, no problem. Let's just talk about it. But if not, I wouldn't know what really happened, what was said. That's how you should handle when somebody brings you a piece of gossip. Because I'm always like, I always look at the messenger as to, why are you telling me this? What is your intentions? And let me make sure I go to the source before I just believe it. That's where Dr. Wendy got messed up. That's why I stopped watching RHOBH, because it's just a hot mess over there. You can't just take everything people say to you as face value as the truth. Whether that person has good intentions or not, you can't believe the game of telephone. Angie, if she had any brain cells in her head, and again, I'm not being rude, but like, girl, come on, you're on a show, wake up. If she had any strategy in her mind, she would have gone straight to Meredith, not at the table in the group setting. This could happen on camera or off camera. It just needed to happen between the two of them, and said, hey, listen, this is what has come to me. What's good? Let's talk about it. Before you believe and accuse. So, Angie, miss me. You're just sloppy with it. You're doing all this, because I stand by what I think. I don't think Meredith was the source of it. In this particular one, I think she got fed it. But she didn't take the bait. She didn't bring it to the show. That's why Monica had to do it herself and bring it up. But Meredith is smart, and she still didn't take the bait, because Meredith is not going to make herself legally liable for any type of slander, or what's the other one? Libel, whatever it is. She's not going to open herself up to catch a case. She's too smart. And she didn't take the bait. And that's when you saw Monica running around like a chicken with her head cut off, trying to figure out how she's going to get out of this. So, girl, miss me with all of that. And like I said before, the only person talking about Angie is Monica. All right, here we go. Meredith. So, like Meredith said on Watch What Happens Live, Monica was the one who brought her the rumor about Angie during their flight back from Palm Springs. I believe that. That's too specific to be a lie. And this is why she reached out to her when she got the DMs, because Monica was the one who was planting the seeds. And I don't think Meredith lying. I believe her. And like we said before, Meredith never said anything about the Angie rumors. It was Monica, just like the husband cheating rumors, right? 100%. And then also think about the Lisa Barlow rumors, because everybody loves to bring that up. This is what happened with them. Do I think that Meredith planted or made up the Lisa Barlow SEC filings and about her business and all of that? No. Do I think she knew it came maybe from Jen Shah's camp, maybe one of Jen Shah's accounts, and she just decided to ride with it? Yeah. Do I think that she was very strategic with bringing certain rumors about Lisa to the show? Yes, because I think Meredith was on her get back. But the difference between Meredith, what she did to Lisa, and what's going on with Angie is that Meredith was the one who said, yeah, I heard this about Lisa. Yeah, this is what I received. Yeah, this is what happened. Meredith brought it to the show herself. Whereas with Angie, Meredith looked very uncomfortable even talking about it. So they're two separate situations. Very, very different. And now let's talk about Miss Heather Gay. So Heather, I believe, was 100% correct not to discuss her daughter's sex life on camera, especially with evil Monica. She was protecting her child. She was 100% correct. I also loved how Heather called out Monica for still being married. We remember at the table when they were playing the game of when was the last time you had sex? And Heather was like, I don't feel comfortable talking about this. She was like, I'm the only single person at the table. Like, it's just a different look. You know what I mean? Because it's true. Because if all of them is like, I had sex a week ago or I had one last night, it's the assumption it's with your husband. But if you're a single woman, you're like, well, I had sex last week. It's going to be like, oh, with who, where, how, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's total, it's apples to oranges when you're talking about certain things if you are a single woman or if you are a married woman. She's 100% correct with that. And I agree with Lisa. Lisa was like, hey, I get it. She needs to stop. But then Monica kept coming after her. But I loved how Heather called Monica out and she was like, you're married. And Monica lied. Monica said, oh, Michael won't sign the papers. That, just because he won't sign the papers, blah, blah, blah. That's a lie because it came out that Monica refiled for the second time for divorce in June of 2023. June of 2023, 6 months ago, the filming had wrapped. So when they're at the table talking about who's married, Monica was 100% married to her husband, Michael. There were no divorce papers because the initial divorce papers was like a decade ago when she had sex with her brother-in-law. But they canceled those divorce papers because they reconciled. So when she's at the table saying he hasn't signed the papers, that's a lie. There were no papers to sign because they had reconciled. And then the court documents came out that she hadn't refiled in paperwork in June of 2023. And then the divorce was finalized, I think, in October, right before BravoCon. So she's lying. There's no divorce papers to sign. Whether they are, maybe he's doing him and she's doing her, they're not maybe living together, but that's not the same as having divorce papers. So she was lying. And Heather was right. She was the only single woman at the table. Just because you can have sex with someone who's not your husband doesn't mean that you are technically single. You know what I'm saying? So you go, girl. You go. And I loved Heather. I'm just here for her. She's one of my favorites this season. I actually think I might like her more this season than I like Lisa, which is saying a lot because I love Lisa. But like I said, Lisa Barlow is on the wrong road. Lisa aligning herself with Monica because she's holding a grudge against Meredith isn't the best look. I love Lisa, and I've said this 100 times, she doesn't have to fully trust Meredith. I get it. You feel like she brought these rumors to the show. She talked about my SEC filing. She talked about my business, blah, blah, blah. Like, I totally get it. You're pissed at her and all of that stuff. So then you need to pick a side because when you're in Meredith's face, except for when you're yelling at her, you're like, oh, I want to move forward with you. Yeah, this is good. We'll come to each other, all of that. Behind her back, you're like, I don't trust her. I'm keeping her arm's length. I'm not sure about this friendship, blah, 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 blah. And then the moment you get a little bit of bait from Monica, you take it and you run with it. You're done, Meredith. You're done. I'm done. Like, Lisa, I get it. You had your hot mic moment. You went off on Meredith. I do think Meredith overreacted for too long, but now you're doing the same thing. Now you're overreacting for too long. You got her with the hot mic. She got you back with the SEC filings. You don't have to be besties again, but you kind of need to just put this to bed. Not saying trust her, but just like put it to bed because it's exhausting and it's over and it's beating a dead horse and like enough is enough. And I like Lisa Barlow more when she's fun and she's confident and she's just a vibe. This version of Lisa isn't my favorite version. The bitter Betty Lisa, this version of Lisa just isn't for me. And it also takes her off her game because I think if she wasn't so in her feelings, I think she would see things a lot more clearly. And I think if she saw things a lot more clearly, she would realize that Monica is a snake, not to be trusted, and was completely using her to have her as cover. Do you know what I mean? So, Lisa, go to therapy, work out your women friendship issues, come back and be the Lisa Barlow that I love. Now, Whitney. Whitney needs to go. Whitney is miserable. She's mean. There is like a meanness to her. I've never liked Whitney, but she's like nasty now. Like, do you notice how she's like really like the way she treated Lisa at Meredith's party, the way she's treating Heather, shut the F up, and like all this stuff. We saw their promos where her and Heather go at it again. There's like a nastiness to her. And I'm kind of like, Justin, blink twice if you need us to come and get you. You know what I mean? Like, poor Justin, free Justin. That no wonder he's not wearing his wedding ring. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to wear my wedding ring if I had to go home to Whitney. That's a joke. Do you know what I mean? That's an absolute joke. She's not fun to watch. And she's taking everything too far and too deep. And like, I'm so tired of her weaponizing her trauma, weaponizing her spirituality, weaponizing her healing journey. Like, we're going to see it in the next week's episode when she's like to Heather, you exploited my sexuality. And Heather's like, you sound like an idiot. I was like, oh my God, I love you, Heather. Spot on. Like, no, Whitney, nobody is exploiting your sexuality except you. You've exploited your own sexuality, which is fine. I think that as women, as men, as human beings, however we choose to identify ourselves, if we want to brand, monetize, exploit, utilize our bodies, our sexualities, as long as we are adults, as long as it's safe and it's consenting, knock yourself out. But Whitney, you're the one who has very much exploited and branded and monetized your sexuality. When you're on TV, swinging and being wasted on poles and, doing naked painting sections with your husband and always being topless and doing all this, that, and a third, which I don't think that there's any problem with that. So there's no judgment here. But I don't think she has a leg to stand on talking about Heather writing whatever she writes in her book, exploiting her sexuality. Like, girl, bye. Like, miss me with it. You're just mad that you didn't write a book. You're just mad that you don't have a podcast or a book deal or anything because you don't have a brand. You're an influencer for your, was it a jewelry line? You're basically like an influencer for them. You're like the face of that jewelry line. That's not yours. What happened to your skincare line? Go exploit that. What happened to Wild Rose or whatever the hell it was called? Iris and Bow, Wild Rose, whatever it was called. Go exploit those avenues rather than hating on Heather because she has a book deal and her book's doing good. Just stop. She's too mean at this point. She's too mean. I need Angie to go and I need Whitney to go. And I want to get 3 new housewives because I think that they have 6 now and it's okay. But I do think adding an extra one or like a more hands-on friend of, I think would liven up the show. Whitney can go, Angie can go, and we need to add 3 more. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. Whew. So that's kind of how I landed on this episode. So as always, you guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. But before I drop the link, in case anybody wants to come up and do your candy cane questions and comments, I am going to quickly do a story on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because we're here. So why not? All right, so give me 1 second because I think it's a really interesting story and I think you guys would be into it. All right, let me get it together. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. Hit the like button while we wait, guys. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So it's loading. So this story is going to be about Kyle explaining, quote, the real reason why her and Dorit are no longer close, why she's distanced herself from Dorit, okay? That's what this story is going to be about. Wait, give me one more sec because it's not loading. And I really want it to load because I want to show you guys. Okay. One sec. All right. Yay. I got it. All right. So let's talk about Kyle Richards coming clean about the real reason why she and her ex BFF, Dorit Kemsley, are on the outs. And the reason may or may not surprise you. It surprised me, but then it didn't. I mean, I thought it was about the Mauricio and Dorit affair rumors, but allegedly it's about something else. Very on brand for Vile Kyle. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. All right, you guys. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Kyle Richards is admitting she's no longer close to Dorit Kemsley. After being seen gushing over her friendship with Morgan Wade on this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, stating that their relationship is, quote, very different from her other friends, Kyle said Dorit doesn't feel like a friend as her co-stars accused her of morphing into Morgan and replacing her. Now, I do have the clip. It is a sneak peek shared by Bravo, and we will definitely watch the clip. But I want to say first, with Dorit saying that she feels like Kyle is morphing into Morgan and that she's replaced, this is a sentiment that Kyle kind of does. Kyle does tend to morph, whether it's her personality or her looks, into her current BFF. She did it with Teddy. She became very, Teddy has a very masculine energy about her. She kind of had that same disposition. She kind of had the same personality as Teddy. They kind of morphed into each other. They got matching tattoos. They always did everything together, working out together, all of that, being very, very protective, very, very codependent. When Dorit was her, favorite, and they were really close, we saw Kyle kind of morphing into Dorit, doing like the high ponytails and lightening her hair and, trying to dress up and do all the fashions. So I'm not surprised that now Dorit feels replaced and that Kyle is morphing into Morgan, getting the matching tattoos, working out, not drinking, all of that same type of behavior of a person who sort of when somebody starts dating somebody new and they adopt the personality of the person that they're dating, Kyle tends to adopt the personality and the style and looks of her current favorite BFF. Okay. Now, Dorit goes on to say, I feel like I'm an afterthought. I guess I have to put your initials on my body for you to actually care. I mean, literally. Dorit tells Kyle in a sneak peek at the December 20th episode shared by Bravo, giving a nod to Morgan's K tattoo. I mean, Morgan has so many tattoos on her. I was like, what difference does it make? Kyle replies. Still, Dorit is perplexed by the relationship between Kyle and Morgan, which many have suspected is romantic, and notes, I can't believe how good of friends you guys are. Again, I don't think it's romantic. I think that Morgan's team, her publicist, her agents, all of those people put her up to having this sort of relationship or friendship with Kyle to further and push her music career. I think for Kyle, it's her way to escape the crisis that she is currently going through in her own life. Her being on the outs with her family, her best friend taking her own life, the cheating allegations with her husband and not being on good terms. I think that for Kyle, the friendship is an escape. For Morgan, I think it was a contract. She goes, I know people are like, I don't understand this friendship, Kyle responds. Dorit then says that Kyle and Morgan seem to be morphing into one another before correcting herself. You're morphing into her, she tells her castmate. In a confessional, Dorit further explains her feelings towards her status with Kyle. I genuinely feel hurt by this distance between Kyle and I. Kyle and I used to go away once or twice or even more a year. Now I'm not even invited on any of Kyle's trips, she shares. Much of who Kyle has become is a lot like who Morgan is. Where do I fit in? In Kyle's new life, feels like I've just been excluded, but maybe even replaced. Meanwhile, in her own confessional, Kyle explains why she hasn't been as close to Dorit. Now, when I saw this, I was shocked, but not surprised. That's what it is. I was shocked Kyle said this, but I wasn't surprised. Here I was, being a normal human being, thinking, oh, the reason why Kyle isn't close to Dorit is because of the Mauricio cheating allegations. I wouldn't be close to someone, or it could, put a strain on a friendship if the entire world thought my friend was having sex with my husband. I was being a normal person. I needed to put on my Kyle hat because this is how Kyle thinks. Here we go. She says, I really felt disappointed in her. She admits, as a flashback scene featured Dorit calling her out over her drama with Kathy Hilton at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12 reunion. In private, Dorit has been saying to me, I feel so bad about what you're going through with your sister, and she was really supportive and on my side. And then when we're all together, it was a very different tune that doesn't feel like a friend to me. Listen, let me break that down in case y'all didn't catch it. Basically, Kyle is saying, I no longer mess with Dorit because she was not a yes person to me. Basically, Kyle is saying, I am punishing Dorit. I am distancing myself from Dorit because she didn't say what I wanted her to say when I wanted her to say it. So because Dorit had her own opinion, and because Dorit said that you needed to take a little bit of accountability in the situation with your sister, that is why Kyle has ended the friendship. That is so vindictive. That is so petty. That is so childish. And that is not being a friend. So because Dorit had the audacity to hold you accountable for the role that you have played and the demise of your sisterhood with your sister, you want to ice her out? So unless Dorit is kissing your butt and is being a yes person to you, that's not friendship to you. Mind blown, shocked, but not surprised, because this is who Kyle is. Unless you are her yes person, unless you are her mouthpiece, she becomes the victim and she villainizes you. Crazy. You don't believe me? Let's watch the clip, okay? Now we're going to watch the clip so you can hear it from Kyle's mouth herself and what she explains. Now, if you guys are watching this on the replay and the clip does not show, I apologize. I'm allowed to show this clip due to fair use, but sometimes NBC will take the video down. I just want to give everybody the heads up about that. So hopefully it can stay up because I'm allowed to play it. But all right, let's play it. And for everybody on the live, thank you for being with me because you get to see the video. Here we go.
I forget to tell anybody, I really do.
Literally, I feel like...
I'm just telling you,
How
yeah.
come I don't know about all these movies and things you're doing?
I forget to tell anybody, I really do.
Literally, I feel like I'm an
forget.
afterthought. Well, I guess I have to put your initial on my body for you to actually care. I mean, literally.
I genuinely feel hurt by this distance between Kyle and I. Kyle and I used to go away once or twice, even more a year. Now, I'm not invited on any of Kyle's trips.
The reason I haven't reached out to Dorit as much recently is because I really felt disappointed in her.
Oh, I think that I've had so much that's hurt me, and
She wants you to accept a little bit of responsibility in this.
I don't want you to interject in this right now.
No problem.
In private, Dorit had been saying to me, you know, I feel so bad what you're going through with your sister, and she was really like supportive and on my side. And then when we were all together, it was a very different tune. That doesn't feel like a friend to me. I mean, we're gonna have somebody on our, like, I was like, what difference does it make?
I can't believe, like, how good of friends you
I
guys
know. People are like, I don't understand this friendship.
Well, I mean, you are kind of morphing into one another. You're morphing into her.
Much of who Kyle has become is a lot like who Morgan is. Where do I fit in Kyle's new life? Feels like I've been not just excluded, but maybe even replaced.
You know, anyway.
So there you have it from the horse's mouth herself. The reason why she distanced herself from Dorit isn't because of the rumor, allegedly, that Dorit and Mauricio were having an affair, but because Dorit had the audacity to ask her to take a little bit of accountability for her own actions. That is so pathetic and sad, and it just really is indicative of who Kyle Richards is. Unless you are her yes person, she's going to villainize you and make herself the victim. I mean, that's insane. And I never thought I would say this, but I'm team Dorit on this one. To me, Dorit really was being a friend. You're struggling, you're going through something in private, you are you know what I mean? You're supporting them, you're there for them. I can't believe you're going through this, all of this, and that and the third. But on the reunion, Dorit is also at work. And a part of being at work, and also a part of being a good friend, is in moments when you can hold your friend accountable in a compassionate way. You do. And I do think that was the moment for Dorit to speak up and say something. I do think that was the moment for Dorit to say, all she is saying is she just wants you to take a little bit of accountability for the role that you played. There's nothing wrong with that. People who are, again, I'm not Anna Marie. I'm not a doctor. She's not a doctor either, but I don't diagnose. But people with narcissistic tendencies, people who have very low emotional intelligence, people who aren't that evolved, think that they live their life in extremes. You are either for me or against me. And they don't know how to embrace the spectrum of support and embrace levels to it. Just because somebody says, hey, maybe you could, think about the role you played, doesn't mean they're not being your friend, doesn't mean they're betraying you, doesn't mean that they're stabbing you in the back, doesn't mean that they don't support you. It means the opposite. Because if somebody actually doesn't care about you, they're not going to waste their breath trying to give you a little bit of awareness and growth so you can actually fix your relationship with your sister. I'm not saying Kathy Hilton is perfect. Nobody on this earth is perfect. But when it comes to this particular situation, Kyle was the one who was dead wrong pretty much across the board. I'm not talking about their past traumas, their past issues. Who the hell knows? That's, Kathy Hilton's like 60. That's 60 years of whatever. I'm not gonna try all of that. I'm talking about this particular situation. Kyle was the one who was wrong. And I do agree with Dorit. She can take a little bit of responsibility. And also, even when you're not wrong, you can still say, well, maybe I could have reacted differently, or maybe I could have listened to you in this way, or I could have done this. In any situation, even if you are the party who was, quote, wronged, there's always moments for reflection and growth, not even for the other person, but for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, I was shocked, but not surprised. Kyle is putting Dorit on ice, not because she smelled her husband, not because the world thinks they smashed, but because she didn't have her back against her big, bad, mean sister, Kathy. Wah, wah, wah. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think, nope, Kyle's right, you come against me, you're against me? Or do you think, no, Dorit was actually being your friend and that's no reason to ice her out? Or do you think there's a part of Kyle using that as an excuse, and maybe a little bit more of the real reason is the world thinks you smashed my husband, but I can't bring myself to actually admit that, So let's say the reason why I'm being mad at you is because you didn't have my back with Kathy. It could be some of that as well. It could be a little bit of, I'm not ready to say the real reason why I don't mess with you. So let's just use this as an excuse. So put it down below and let me know what you guys think. But before you do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. All right, you guys. I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and chat. But if not, I'm going to take some candy cane questions. Okay. All right. The link is in the chat box, guys. Oof. All right. I am just going to start here. Okay. So I've got Mr. You know what? I'll start at the top. I'm going to start at the top of the comments, and I'm going to get through as many as I can. Okay. Here we go. Hi, Amy. Amy says, hi, Candy and all the candy canes. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Deb. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Deb. Hey, Amy. Hey, Cancer Queen. Cancer says, hey, Candy, I believe Meredith is behind that fake account. Oop. Hey, Shay B. Monica's mom gives me addict vibes. Oop. Thank you, Kay Beck, for joining on Twitter. Thank you, sweetheart. Hey, Deb. Amy says, I love your theories, Candy. Thank you, too. Deb says, Monica is crazy as Jen Shaw. I mean, it's giving like, you know what I'm saying? It's giving like they, I don't know, are in cahoots. I don't know. Hey, Watch What Happens Live. Watch What Happens Live joined you guys. How fun. How fun. I love it. Hey, Amy, Monica is scary to me. She plays a victim constantly. That part. Hey, Deb. Deb says, for a woman to teach her children to be distrustful of their grammar is abuse, of their grandmother is abuse when the problem has been between Monica and her mom. Monica is nuts. I agree 100% with that. When you weaponize your child against their own family is abusive. I agree. Thank you so much, Kristen Blank, for joining. Thank you, Amy. Says if it was her Bermudian family, I wouldn't want to be associated with her either. That part. Hey, Deb. This is Monica's a very immature girl. She seems to be abusive to everyone. I think Monica has a mental tick because she's a bitter Betty for some reason. That part. Deb says Monica lies on everyone. Doesn't she know we don't like people to go on TV and bash their mom? I know. That's what I was just like, so confused when people were like, Monica's mom is so abusive. I was like, what? I was like, I don't see that at all. I think Monica's mom is a human who is flawed, but I don't see her as a monster. Deb says Meredith is doing it all over again, just like Lisa said. Amy says, yes, Deb. Deb says, thank you. Hey, Reese Portable. Thank you for joining. Hey, Tammy says, I think Monica's a big fat liar. So do I. Amy says, it was extremely suspicious. I think it was Monica looking for attention. Monica already knew, and she probably signed up to receive the DM. Yeah, I agree. I think it's Monica. Powerful Being says, get the likes up, guys. Thank you. That's right, Deb. Thank you. Mataski says, Monica is more strategic and diabolical than we realize. Yeah. Anytime Monica cries, they're fake. They're crocodile tears. You can see the wheels turning. It's insane. Deb says, I think Andy trolls the FBI's most wanted list for casting. Litoski says, why is she constantly coming for Angie? It's weird. Angie never did anything to her. That's what I'm saying. And Angie isn't smart enough or strategic enough to realize who is the actual person that is exposing me. Because when they're like, oh, Meredith was going to use Monica as a pawn to bring it to the show, you can use that excuse once, but not twice, not 3 times. Because it was 3 times Monica did this. The first time was the husband cheating rumors. Let's give benefit of the doubt, even though I don't believe this. I do think that Monica spilled that rumor 100% on purpose. Number one, it wasn't even the rumor that Meredith was talking about. It gives the same exact Whitney vibes from Lisa. Meredith came on the show with certain rumors. The rumor Whitney said about Lisa was a different rumor that Meredith said. Same thing with Monica. It was a different rumor. And she even said it. She was like, oh, no, that's not the rumor that Meredith was talking about. So then why did you say it? You see what I'm saying? And then why do it again? Sierra Content says, if saying Monica is a liar vindicates Meredith, then Monica is a liar. Sorry, Mon. Nachowski says it's looking that way. Deb says Angie was supposed to be her friend. I've been watching, and all this time I have thought Monica has been talking to her before and is using Shaw info for sure. Exactly. Hey, Natowski.
Hi.
You want to go? I'm going to give my voice a break for a bit, so sound off.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think I remember I was kind of like, I will admit, I was kind of like not really tapping into my intuition, kind of going with the flow. And I was kind of feeling, oh yeah, Meredith is doing all this. Okay. But then once I heard about the conspiracy, I was like, oh yeah. It was like a shadow of doubt. Like, you know what I
Right?
mean? It's definitely this. I don't even think, yeah, like I don't even think that Monica was ever even like, I wouldn't doubt that she didn't even contact her family, or like she doesn't even have family there. Because I heard some lady who used to be her friend saying, I hung out with her 4 years and she never once mentioned it ever. And she mentioned other people, but that she never mentioned, and it's really strange.
Yeah, we played that clip. So,
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Drop the ball.
No, you're fine, sweetheart. No, we played that clip, and I think I believe the friend. Her name's Tanisha, and she's used to be her hairstylist. I believe the friend. I think that the family in Bermuda was like extended family. That was more of like maybe like her mom's cousins. You see what I'm saying? Where she maybe not have ever mentioned them. But I do think that it was all for a storyline. And I do think her mom was helping her. And I think her mom was like, wait a minute, Monica is unhinged. I don't want to put my family through this. And they collectively were like, okay, let's bow out. But
Yeah,
I
we
don't
don't
think
want to
it
be
was
filmed.
like,
Yeah, we don't really
yeah,
know her like that because maybe they're only like related to her grandma. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Totally. And so that is so psychotic and diabolical. And
Mhm.
then for you to make that all up and then try to use that as an opportunity to go after your mother again.
Yeah.
Like you're psycho. Like you're out of your mind. Something is like you were a menace to society and everyone around you. Like what is going on? She is so scary. Like
She really is.
it's like, oh my God, this woman is not well. And she's a danger. Like
Danger
what?
to society.
Literally. It's like
And I never understand why people like literally just watch her. Like if you just watch her, she's a walking lie. Like when she cries, it's fake. When she talks, it's fake. Like she's just a walking lie.
and dragging her children into this is so weird. Like her children, those poor babies, they're gonna need a lot of therapy, especially that older one that she's always dumping crap on.
Yep, Brie.
Yeah, I feel really bad for her. Bless her. Like, yeah, this is not well. This woman is absolutely diabolical. And I feel like almost like her mom knows this, and
Yeah.
she like tries to defend her, but then she also pulls back because she doesn't want to like, she knows that her daughter is capable of everything. So
Yeah.
like she's like almost like, I don't want to go too hard against her, but I do have to defend myself. So it's like she defends herself and then she pulls back because it's like, yikes.
Yeah, and it's also like it's still her child. You know, so like she knows she's a liar, she knows she's messed up, but it's still her kid. But it just sucks that the mom has to be out here like embarrassing herself on Twitter, being like, "Can you please clear my name?"
Yeah, like it's awful. And I like, yeah, I think Meredith, I think she definitely like studied the show or like got some tips
100%.
from Jen. And Meredith was an easy scapegoat like to pin on because she does have a history of kind of like bringing up stats and stuff, you know. That's why Lisa got all triggered. And yeah, and because at first I was like, okay, so when they were filming, Monica was not famous. Like, no, she was not announced as a cast member, really. No one really knew her while they were filming this whole time. So, like, anonymous people aren't going to be emailing her. Like, that's just not going to happen. And considering like who she was friends with, and I'm sorry if you could see, this is why I also like, to be fair, do side eye Meredith, because for you to be that close with Jen, I'm going to side eye you a little bit, just a little bit.
No, yeah. No, I agree. And I this is where I think Meredith fell, was she was so on her get back against Lisa that she kind of put everything aside to befriend Jen, so to take Lisa down.
Yeah, and that's toxic as hell.
Yeah, because Meredith was like, "Oh, Jen's talking about my family, or she's talking about my son, blah blah blah," and then all of a sudden she's like, "I
My
forgive you."
family.
All of a sudden she was like, "Oh no, I forgive you." And remember, she was saying how Meredith was gonna get like a social media like investigator cyber guy to figure out who was coming after her son, because she thought it was Jen Shaw having burner and fake accounts. It's the
Yeah.
same exact thing. But then all of a sudden she forgave Jen because they had a bigger common enemy, Lisa, after Lisa Barlow's hot mic moment.
Yeah, that got wrapped up real quick, that little feud.
Yeah, the moment they had a common enemy.
Yeah.
The
All of a
enemy of my
sudden,
enemy
all
is
is
my
well,
friend.
all is forgiven. Like, I was like, what?
Jacob!
Hey, Jacob, long time no hear.
You want to share? Oh, come off of mute when you can and just pop
Jacob,
on
don't
in.
tease us with your presence.
I know.
Yeah, so I don't know. And then why do you think she's going? So you think that Jen, the reason why she's specifically going after Angie, even though like Angie has never really done anything to her,
Yeah.
is because of Jen?
I think it's one of two things. Either one, somehow Monica and Jen are closer than we all know, and Monica is doing some type of get back on Jen's behalf, because everyone she's targeted has had when Jen left, had a beef with Jen. She's targeted Lisa Barlow. They have been at each other's throats this entire season. Lisa and Jen had a huge falling out. They were not good. They were not friends when she went in. And then Angie, remember, Angie was the one who flipped on Jen and was like, "Well, you didn't pay the $15,000 when I had Coach Shaw's birthday party at my house."
Oh, I
And
forgot they were friends, actually. You're
they
right.
used to be friends, and then Angie flipped on her when she joined up with Angie Harrington and that Deb girl. Remember when they all flipped on Jen?
And
'Cause
all of a sudden they were enemies. You're
then all
right.
of a
You're
sudden they were
right.
enemies, and she was talking about Jen and like, well, all of this stuff, and she was with that group. So either Monica and Jen have some secret alliance going on for some get back, or Jen gave Monica, before they've had a falling out, almost like a blueprint, or almost like the information that she's now just saying, "Hey, you know what? I want to be on the show. I want to make my mark. This is the ammunition I have, and I don't care who I have to take out." But I don't think it's, in my Nene voice, a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that Monica has targeted every single person that Jen Shaw had an open beef with before she went to jail. Hey, Jacob.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, this thing was acting so dumb earlier. I was like, oh God. I just,
You're like, don't
trying to
tease
go.
us with your presence. How
I
dare you?
know. We love you, Jacob. We're like, he's back.
Oh yeah. The you guys were did you guys say something? You guys were saying like what? That Monica's. I don't think she's working with Jen at this current time. Like, I don't think that, but I think that she actually did get this information and create the accounts, because I also believe that that she's lying about the whole what like, oh,
Bermuda?
Jen asked me to put this in my name, but I said no, because remember, I think that she did do that. And so
Yep.
I believe that she has more criminal knowledge than she pretends to tell us. I think she is capable of doing that. Easy.
100%. 100%.
because Jen taught her. So
Mhm.
because you know I believe that she put that stuff in her name, whatever it was. But I believe that there was other more serious stuff too that she was probably involved in. So this is like it's plausible to me.
I agree. I agree.
I
And
think
then
the producers were probably like, "Oh, you have this info, so tell Meredith." Like, I think the producers put her up to asking Meredith about it. I don't think she just did it on her own. Um, but I don't know. It's coming off in a way where Meredith is the bad one, so that's interesting.
yeah, they basically Monica set Meredith up. Because this is the thing. I think that Monica thought that Meredith was going to take the bait and start talking about all the DMs and all the info and all of that stuff. And then I think the plan was always to have Meredith be sort of like the collateral damage to get the information on the show. Being like, oh, well, Meredith and I were talking about it. Oh, I'm so ditzy. I don't know. I'm just being used. But then when Meredith didn't take the bait, Monica then had to change course, and that's why she went to Lisa, because she knew that Lisa was still beefing, low-key beefing with Meredith, to get Lisa to then go after and bring it on. Because everyone was thinking, oh, Meredith is the one behind this. And I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I always look at their body language. When Meredith was talking about it on Watch What Happens Live and in the episodes, to me, I think she's telling the truth. She doesn't give off that
Right.
she's hiding anything or that she's lying. And her version of events, because again, I always believe the simplest answer, even with all of this convoluted DMs, burner accounts, the simplest answer is usually the truth. And Meredith's version is the simplest answer versus Monica's. And I do believe Monica brought the information to Meredith, like she said on Watch What Happens Live the other night with Andy. She was like, no, the reason why I called Monica when I got the DMs was because Monica brought me the information first on the flight back from Palm Springs. Because remember, Meredith and Angie were beefing hard at Palm Springs because Meredith didn't invite Angie, and they were fighting the whole time. So that's when Monica was like, this is the perfect time to plant this seed. And so then once Meredith got the information, she's going to be like, oh, yeah, yo, let me call Monica because Monica already knew, whatever. But then Monica went back and spun it as if it was Meredith who was the one who was doing it. But the person who planted the seed was Monica. And just like her ex-friend Tanisha said, Monica always says we and clumps everybody together. Because at the table, she was like, we were talking about it. We were talking about it. And Meredith's like, we weren't talking about it. And if you watch the footage, it was Monica. Because I agree with you, Jacob. I do think either production put her up to it or put a bug in her ear. But it was Monica talking about it. She was the one who initiated the conversation. And Meredith played dumb. She was like, oh, let me drink my wine. Oh, I get a lot of DMs. Girl, I don't know what you're talking about. What?
And that's why Monica
Right.
looked disappointed.
And that's when Monica looked disappointed. And then
Mhm.
Lisa was the one who gave Monica the idea of saying, oh, Meredith is setting me up. Because when she talked to Lisa and she was like, oh, I want you to come with me to see my family. And that when she said that, I was like, why are you buttering up Lisa Barlow? Because from a storytelling standpoint, the person who made sense would be Heather. Heather was the one who did the whole Bermuda trip for Monica to see her family. So Heather would be the one that would go with her, not Lisa. And then when she said, oh, and by the way, I want to tell you what Meredith said. And then Lisa, because she's in her feelings, took the bait and was like, Meredith is setting you up. She did this to me last season. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with you, Lisa. I love you, Lisa, but like, not everything is about you, okay? And she said,
She was too triggered and she took the bait.
too
Yeah.
triggered to take the bait. And when she said,
Mm.
oh, Meredith is setting you up, you can see in Monica's face the wheels turning, and she's like, oh, okay. And then 2 scenes later,
She's like, I could work with this.
she's like, oh, exactly. She was like, oh, she was like, now I can use this. Because then 2 scenes later, when Angie confronts Monica about it, Monica's like, oh, well, this is something I didn't tell Lisa, but that just came to my mind, after
that was
thinking
weird,
about
right?
everything. And she was like, Meredith was the one who called me, and that's when I saw the DMs. And in my mind, I'm like, girl, like you're adding too much to the story. Like now all of a sudden you have the new conspiracy theory. Like you're not a candy cane. You don't have conspiracy theories. We do. Like,
Right.
girl, I was like, see, because you can see the wheels turning. And then like the person said, some Twitter user was like, no, Monica's story was too clean in the sense it was too like prepared. It was like she was like remembering what she was supposed to say. It was too prepared. But I'll stop. You guys go.
No, that's right. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that they kept that in there when Monica added it at the end. It was like, oh yeah, and I just thought of this.
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting when I first watched it, and then when I thought about it, I was like, why didn't they just take that out so it's kind of like one big long sentence? Because the production chooses what goes in there for a reason, right? So I'm just
Right.
like, I'm trying to think, where are they trying to go? So it seems like they are trying to make Meredith look like the actual villain and also set up the possibility for us to think that, oh, maybe Monica is the actual villain. Like it seems
Yep.
like they're trying to get us to not be so sure. So I think that's an interesting angle. I think they edit this show a little bit differently than the other ones, right?
Yeah. I mean, something's going on. So maybe almost like a bait and switch where it's like, oh, we're going to make the audience think that Meredith is the bad person, but surprise, it's Monica.
Right, that. And also, unfortunately, I think we're going to be disappointed with the whole reveal. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything new. I think it's going to be
When are we
something
not
that we
disappointed
already.
with these stupid reveals?
Right.
I can't.
I'm assuming that it's going to be, I don't
Sorry.
know. It's just, no, it's definitely, I think it's just going to be Heather finding out, like, yeah, we're suing this girl and you're on a trip with her. Like, that's what I
Uh-huh.
think it's going to be. Which is fine, but like, I guess like that's what we get.
And then do we get the black eye reveal? And hey, Jay, welcome, sweetheart. Do we get the black eye reveal? Because there was
Oh,
also the
please.
rumor that it was Monica who like got mad at Heather and then she ended up telling everybody how she got the black eye.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so there was a theory out there that Monica gets pissed off at Heather after whatever goes down with like Beauty Lab or the phone call or whatever. And Monica knows what really happened with the black eye and she spills
Oh.
it to the girls on the show. And that's another big reason why Heather is so mad at her.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true. That's a theory out there. But even if it's like I ran into the doorknob, like I just want to know the black eye just to put it to bed. Because it's such a stupid not knowing thing.
I think it involves skiing.
Wait, what?
I
Hitting the
think
slopes.
Oh,
that
skiing.
the black eye
Mhm.
is related to them skiing.
Gotcha.
Right.
Hitting the old black diamond, if you will. I'm just kidding.
Oh
Gotcha.
goodness. Yeah, that's what I think it is. And you know what I was looking up, because I said I did not know that there was a whole bunch of Greek people in Utah. So I said,
I didn't
let me
either.
I'm going to look this up, and then I said, is there a Greek mafia in Utah? Like, is there enough Greek people to make a mafia? I couldn't find that much. So imagine my disappointment. I was hoping that her father was part of it or something. That's what I was thinking that I would find like a possibility of, but
And when I think of Utah, I don't think of like, a large Greek population. Like,
right. Well, they have a huge Greek cathedral in downtown Salt Lake City. Like, it's huge.
oh, really?
It's gorgeous. Mm-hmm.
Greek Orthodox?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
I lived in Astoria for 1 year, and that is like Little Greek. So I feel like I lived in Greece.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Astoria has it, but no, there's some in Utah. I don't know if there's enough for a whole mafia, and the internet didn't really make me think that. So I don't know. I would like to know where the money came from, though.
True.
Oh,
Because I don't know where. I mean, I don't know what
Yeah.
Sean did before. Did he make all of his money as a hairdresser? Then got all these all that. Then they started their salon.
Who knows? I don't think they're a part of like a mafia per se, but do I think all the business is up to snuff? Maybe not. But even
Oh.
that, like, I think the whole mafia thing, that just sounds like Jen Shaw trying to get some get back.
It sounds stupid.
yeah, I
It
think
sounds
it's
because it sounds so
lame.
silly. Hey Jay, you want to sound off?
Eh, I think the rumor about Angie being in the mafia and her company being like a fraud, I think it's all BS because usually when like housewife or people get in TV, they get exposed by the IRS or
Right.
TMZ, and we will know about it like the second that Angie be the housewife. But I think
That's
it's
true.
lame. Yeah, I think it's lame about saying someone like there's in the mafia, and I think it's pretty dark.
And
And
it's cheesy.
yeah,
It seems
Yeah.
cheesy.
it's like
It's
lame.
dark and it's cheesy and
Yeah,
it's like low hanging fruit. Like they're in the Greek, like come on.
yeah,
Deb says, who thinks Monica took Barlow's ring? I mean, allegedly, my opinion,
I believe it.
I think she did take it because
Mhm.
Whitney said she did the Freudian slip that Monica said, I helped Lisa find her ring, not I helped Lisa look for her ring. And
So that means you found it,
that
girl.
means
Yeah.
you found it and you
Oh
kept it.
shoot.
You see what I'm saying? Because people always, that's what I said. You got to watch.
And rumor
people.
is that she came across some money right around the same time.
Right after the same time she came into some money.
It's like
This is what I
1
think
+
happened.
1.
I think Lisa Barlow lost the ring. I think Monica found it, was going to give it back, but Lisa kept saying it's 60K, it's 60K, it's 60K, and Monica was like, and now it's going right back in my pocket.
Oh, you thought that's what it
She
took?
like pushed it. She
Yeah.
was about to grab it, and then when she heard the 60K, she just pushed it deeper in her pocket.
I think once
Please.
I think once she heard it was 60K, she was like, let me keep it.
I don't think she thought any of that stuff.
She's
I
like,
think she
and we're
said,
not giving this back.
Oh, any diamond? Thank you. I think that's what it was. I don't think she thought any of that stuff that you guys are saying. But okay, maybe.
You're
I
like,
think she just said, oh,
let me take
money.
it.
Yeah,
That part. That part.
Absolutely.
That part.
Yeah, I don't think she was all triggered about no 60,000.
No.
I'm sure she. I don't think that made her keep it. I think just
No, I don't.
diamond.
No, what I meant by that was not that she was triggered by it being 60, but when she realized it was worth 60, that's what made her keep it. That's what I was saying. Not that she was actually triggered by it. No. She wasn't triggered by it being like she was almost like, oh girl, I found your ring. Oh wait, how much is this worth? Yeah, I don't know where it went, girl. I didn't see it. It was more like that.
Yeah, girl, it's so weird that we didn't find it.
Yeah,
so strange.
I don't know where it's at. Where could it be?
You should probably stop talking about it though, because it's making me feel sensitive. Thanks.
I know you're not relatable to Middle America, even though we're on an international show called Real Housewives of Salt Lake City on NBC Universal,
which was
Bravo.
designed to showcase affluent women, but okay.
But you're so not relatable. Shut up, Monica. I told y'all from jump, I was like, Monica is so shady. She's a liar. Watch out for her. I said this from jump. And because energy doesn't lie. Energy does not lie. The moment I saw her, I was like, this is a scam artist. She's a con artist. She's a liar. And she is.
I think she's lying about stuff that she doesn't need to lie about too. Like I think
what movie is that from? When she's like, and she's a liar, and I wish I never laid eyes on her. I was like,
I don't know, but this one, I don't know. That's Natasha's movie.
Wow,
is that a dream?
Probably.
Lying.
And I wish I never laid eyes on her
too. Because do you remember when she was like, "Oh yeah, what can you expose about me that I haven't exposed about myself? Affairs check, foreclosure check." And I think that she just said foreclosure to try to sharpen that narrative that she's raising her daughters on her own.
Yep.
Because in her divorce documents, I can't see her husband making that much money and having a foreclosure. I was like, I think she's lying about that.
She's been lying about everything. Did you guys see the video?
Oh,
Yes.
Candy.
Of her
Look at
friend,
what
of her friend exposing
Her
her.
friend, yeah, a mess.
Yeah, a mess.
Candy.
A
Look
mess.
what Kelly Arman has said. I like her theory about the black eye.
Okay, so Kelly says Heather hit her head face on a cabinet. She told everyone at Bravo in production, but due to them staying at an Airbnb, their insurance policy. Were they at an Airbnb?
They were on the trip
Yeah.
to San Diego. No, not San
No.
Diego.
They
Oh
weren't
no,
in
that
San
was
Diego.
that.
No.
You're right. That was their friend. Was it at San Diego though?
I think
it was.
No.
No.
Where were they? Because Jen Shaw was there, and it was on one of the cast trips.
It wasn't San Diego though.
It wasn't?
Wait, was? I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it was.
Diego.
Uh-huh.
Because San
Maybe.
Diego was when it was Angie K's friend's house.
It was
remember?
her friend's house.
And
right.
that's when Jen dumped the champagne in her head, and that's when it started their feud.
Got it.
But I'm not.
Mhm.
That's not where I don't think the whole black eye situation happened. I think that was a different trip, but I'm not sure. Help!
Oh.
Help!
What other
Yeah.
trip? There was no other trip.
Was
Besides
there?
that Scottsdale trip.
Ooh, Kelly said it's on YouTube somewhere. It was secretly recorded by a fan. Ooh.
Oh goodness, that's it.
Oh, excuse me. Let me just do a quick looky look.
I thought it was much more salacious than that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, we had all sorts of theories that were
Oh, I
juicy
thought she was
juice.
skiing. I thought she was skiing, but okay.
There was like romantic, like there was all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
the scissor kicks. I was like, really?
Scissor
I don't
kicks.
think
Oh
that.
my god,
I
that
also
makes me
don't
laugh every
believe-
time someone says
Right.
scissor kicks. I don't know why,
Wait,
but that is
but who
so
said
funny to
that?
me. The scissor kicks.
Scissor kicks.
But no, I don't, and I also don't believe any of that stuff about bankruptcies and owing the IRS. I was like, where? Like we would have been heard about that. Like we would have heard about that last season.
I think Monica is just a professional victim and a professional liar. And like we already went over, she was married on the show, acting like she was straight up divorced and destitute and a single mom raising her kids. Because even on the last episode, when they're all at the table and they're playing that sex game, like when was the last time you had sex? And Heather's like, I don't want to play this game because all of you guys are married. I'm the only single one. And Monica's like, no, I'm single. I'm not single. And Monica and Heather was like, no, you're married. Monica lied and was like, no, Mike just hasn't filed or signed the paperwork. But when they're filming, they may not have been living together or whatever the case is, but there was no paperwork to sign because Monica didn't refile for divorce until June of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And filming had already wrapped. So she was up there straight lying. Just because you can have sex doesn't mean you're actually single. Just means you're cheating on your husband.
She's so weird.
Yeah.
No, that confused me so much. I was just like, what is going on here? Because I don't know, her stories, it's tripping me up now, and we know the truth. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah.
And
I just looked and I didn't find anything on YouTube.
Maybe it's one of those like super new videos because they don't. I feel like those don't pop up for everyone.
And as quickly.
Yeah, it was all like 10 months ago stuff going, she finally reveals. I'm like, she didn't do that. Those like clickbait kind of things,
Yeah.
Where she's saying it's a whole like nothing burger.
Yeah. Subconscious thought says, but can we just point out Heather being so uptight, or are we just going to hate just on the hate Monica bandwagon? Well, subconscious thought, I think you're a new candy cane. Never saw you before, but thank you. I just want to say that there's no hate on my channel. We have kikis, we have shade, we have conspiracy theories, we have people that we really ride for, but there's no hate. This is all fun. It's a reality TV show. So the word hate is not welcomed here. And Heather being uptight, I mean, I don't know what you're referring to about Heather being uptight, but if it's her about being uptight about not wanting to discuss her child's sexual activity either way on camera, I don't think that's being uptight. I think that's being a protective parent and a good parent, because I don't think it was Monica's place to ask Heather if her daughter was sexually active.
And to be
That
fair,
just crossed so many lines. And Heather had every single right to protect her daughter's
yeah,
privacy.
that was creepy.
And she had every single right to have those boundaries in place. So welcome to Subconscious Thought, but we don't hate on this channel. We will go at it and we'll have fun, but there's no hate at all. No hate.
And to be fair, even at the dinner when she was like, I'm the only single one, that makes complete sense to me. Because if she's going to sleep with someone, it's going to be a scandalous. Because as far as we know, she's not dating anyone. It's going to be a drama. They're all just referring to sleeping with their husbands. And there's a big difference. And she was absolutely right in that. And I completely understand.
Yeah, it is. It's very different. It's very, very different. It says, no, are we talking about her at the dinner? Kelly says, Heather gave black eye. I am new. Thank you for the warm welcome, I guess. Yes, it was. Well, it was very warm, and you're welcomed here no matter what. You're welcome.
And really, we shouldn't go by Monica's standards of singleness, because when she was married, she was sleeping with her brother-in-law for 18 months. So
that part. Hey, Misty. She says, hello, Kane. All the Canes. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you for holding me down. No, I agree. Like, it's just a hot mess. And I just knew Monica was like not good from day one. And I also called it. I was like, the tide's going to turn for her, because remember, she was such a fan favorite. Like, people were like writing for her. People were loving her. And I was like, give it a beat when everything comes out. And like, the tide is definitely turned.
In my head, I'm like, these people have no idea. They are on the wrong side of history on this one.
I think it's turned. From what I've been reading and seeing, I still think that there's Monica stands out there 100%, because no matter what, you're always going to have people that's going to kind of ride for you. But I do think that the overall consensus on her has changed. Like, when we were reading the article from Reality Blurb and all about the Real Housewives, the truth or whatever, they were breaking it down how like all these accounts were like, girl, you didn't even have family in Bermuda, stop lying. Like, they were going in on her.
Really?
You must have missed it. We went through the whole thing, and they were saying how her whole story was fishy. This was in the beginning of the live.
I thought she was lying too at first, but then I was like, because I was like, I wonder, does she have family? I don't know. It just seemed a little.
Well, to be fair, it felt like her story was changing. First, it was Portugal, then it was okay. Now there's a Portugal. It's just like nothing she said was consistent, but like you could kind of talk your way into like understanding it a little bit, because you're like, okay, there was a Portuguese. You know what I mean? But it's just like the way she told it was weird. Like, when you tell a story, you're like, yeah, there's a Portuguese population in Bermuda. That's where my family's from. But then she's like, but now I have family in Portugal. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, she just told it in a very convoluted way that was off-putting. But I don't know if I was like full on board with like, she's a liar. You know what I mean? And I wish I never laid eyes on her. I'm saying that.
I don't know. I was just like, okay. I mean, because I was trying to weigh both sides. Like, okay, does she or doesn't she? And I said, okay, I think she does, and I do believe that her mom probably. Now, I don't know. I don't know how close her mom is to them, because Monica said she hadn't seen them in 30 years. But is that a lie?
Okay, this was my conspiracy theory on this one. I think that Monica, yes, I do think she has family in Bermuda, but I think it's like very like not her cousins, but maybe
I think
like
it's
her. But maybe it's
fourth
like her
cousins, maybe
right.
fifth.
So maybe it's like her mother's cousins or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's like her mother's side of the family, very like extended.
Like, I have distant cousins
deal,
in
right?
Poland and Slovakia, but they're like fourth or fifth. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And we're not like besties, and I like met them once.
Right.
know?
So very, very similar to that situation. And I think that Monica's mom was helping her with the storyline. Where I think she's lying is this whole like, I don't know who I am, and I want to like meet a part of myself because I don't have any family. Like, I think she was milking it. Whereas I think that if she was not on the show, I don't think she would give a damn about her family in Bermuda. You know what I mean? Like,
She
I
doesn't
don't
give a
think
damn
she would,
about family.
like,
Look
I
at how
don't
she
think she
treats her
would
mom.
care. I don't think she would be like, oh, I need to see my family. I think she was milking it and exaggerating it, making herself the victim to milk the storyline for herself with her family in Bermuda. I think her mom, like her mom has always been trying to help her, was trying to make sure she had the storyline, had the family in Bermuda. Since Heather went and made the whole thing, she was trying to get everything together. But I think when Monica flipped
Also,
on her
hosting
mom,
a trip is very big. Yeah, and that would
Yeah.
like put her in a prominent spot.
right. And so I think that when Monica flipped on her mother and was so disrespectful to her and embarrassed her, and then was like, you can't come to Bermuda, I think the mom was like, ding ding ding. So listen up, cuz my daughter has lost the plot. She's out here disrespecting me. She's throwing shoes at children at Easter parties. You know, she's saying I'm toxic and I'm crazy, and I can't be there to sort of, you know, monitor her. I don't think it's a good idea because she's a loose
I don't want to put
cannon.
them. Yeah, they're my family. I don't want to
Yeah,
put them.
and I think the family was like, okay, cool, thanks for the
Like
heads
that's
up.
like
We're
letting a
gonna go.
honey badger like unwatched in your family home. Like you don't know what's
Yeah,
going to go down.
that's what I think happened. I don't think it was her
Yeah.
mom was like, how can I hurt my daughter? Let me call my family in Bermuda to have them canceled to hurt her because I'm so evil, mean, monster. No, I think her mom was like, I don't want to embarrass or have my family disrespected. You know,
She's on this
camera.
psycho kick. This
She's
is
on this
obviously not.
kick.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be there to oversee it.
I'm not going to lose my family
This is
like
what's
over
up.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, because that makes more
Oh,
sense from this like a human perspective. Like I
For
don't
me-
think her mom to me doesn't read monster. I'm trying to hurt you. It doesn't make
In
any
my
sense.
head before this conspiracy, I immediately just thought, oh, they don't want to be filmed.
They don't want to be
And-
filmed, and also like.
And people forget that when we're
Yeah.
watching these shows that there are cameras involved, and yeah, it's a fourth wall, and that tends to not be broken.
Mhm.
That's why they need to start breaking the fifth wall,
The fourth wall,
the seventh wall.
the seventh wall.
It's the eighth wall. It's an octagon. No, but like you know what I mean, because it makes more sense because people like they're spinning that very obvious aspect. It's like, yes, not everyone wants to be on film. Period.
Yeah, I think her mom did help her set it up because I think that they came on the show to be like, you know, we're going to pretend that we have issues. I don't know how cleared up those issues are.
And then once you started walling out, she was like, abort.
Right. I think that Monica turned it up a little bit farther than
Too
what
much.
the mom realized. And
Yep.
the mom was like, ooh, I don't know. And then I think that she was upset as well because I think that in her mind, she was probably like, I'm going to look stupid. And she's making me look stupid. So I do think that she called up that family and was like, don't. But I don't think
it's
it was
clearly
like,
Monica is willing to go off the script and we can't risk that. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was to protect them. I think it was because she was like, you want to screw me? Watch this. That's what I think.
Oh, I don't think so.
Really? You think the mom was being vindictive? I thought the mom was being more protective.
Me too. I think like she's crazy. I'm not gonna put them through this. This is nuts. Yeah. She's like she's on another level than what we talked about. Yeah, no.
Because I think I mean, out of just normal human emotion, like I'm gonna get back at her and this is gonna sting. Like, I don't think that's so out of character in real life for either of them. I think that they're both probably a little bit bitter over each other, and because I don't think that they are over these issues, you know, about the abandonment supposedly and the, you know, you left me here. Like, I don't think they're really over that the way that the mom probably just pushed it off to the side, I'm sure, as lots of parents from that generation would do. And I think that Monica is.
I mean, that is true.
I think it was. I think that the mom probably was like, "Oh, it's fine," and we're gonna go on this show and portray it as like, "Oh, we just got over it." Yeah,
I'm sure there's an aspect of truth between the contention between them and maybe the experiences, but she is taking it and literally like throwing a million steroids on it, adding a whole new plot, and going balls to the wall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I think that the mom was just so done, and she said, I'm gonna screw her, and ha ha ha. I don't think it makes her, horrible. Like I don't believe the whole evil mom type theories either. But I think that out of just being human and wanting some revenge, why not get
Mhm.
it on the screen? I think
Then again,
that's
I don't
probably going
believe.
too far. But
Then then again, I don't believe anything. Like even though that makes sense, just because Monica said it, I'm like, I don't know if I believe it. You know what I mean?
right, right. But I think she has a whole, I don't know. I think this girl's gonna be on this show for a long time. I don't think she's going anywhere. I
Yeah.
must say, like, look, if you believe the exact narrative that the show pushes, then Monica's the hero, right? So, and I think that there's a lot of
That's
people
ridiculous. I know.
who, and that's who I think her fans are. Which, listen, I actually enjoy her on the show. I think it makes
Yeah.
it fun, and I'm even though she's telling tall tales,
Tall tales.
but there are people who believe her, and they're like, yes, I'm like, there was that uproar when she got first chair when that came out. Did you see how
Yeah.
everyone was losing their minds
Yeah.
on either the pro her side or the anti side? But I think this girl's going to be around until Jen Shaw gets out of prison and gets her spot back on the show.
Oh my
That's what I think.
gosh.
I wonder if they'll do a season with Jen and Monica.
Absolutely, because I don't think Jen's going to be in prison much longer. I think she's got a couple more years left.
Yeah,
And
maybe
then
one
she's
or
gonna be
two.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she'll be out sooner than we think, and then
You know what?
right back at it.
Intuitively, you know what's so crazy? Really gonna need to start trusting my intuition more. Because
Yeah.
in my head, I go, she's only gonna go for maybe 3 years tops. I even thought maybe even shorter, but then everyone's like, no, there's a minimum sentence you have to do for federal, so that's impossible. And I was like, okay. And I was just like going along with everyone. But then I really still feel that way. And they
Yep.
always say your first reaction before logic, before everything else comes in, is usually the accurate one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be in there for much longer. And I think that was a fear in the producers' heads and in mine. I was like, oh, how are they going to continue on? They got this girl. I think they're going to bring. What I think they're going to do next season is I think everyone's going to come back, and then Monica's going to bring on someone to bridge the gap, and they're all going to be forced to film with her. That's what I think.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Monica's going to bring a friend for next season because of everyone's against her. And they're probably going to love that. The
Yeah.
producers, they're messy.
Kelly said, I was hoping Candy would see it and play it or post it. I would, but it's another content creator's video. So out of respect for other content creators, I don't post or play their content if it's like a YouTube. If it was like a TikTok, I would. But if it's a YouTube video, just out of respect for that content creator, I wouldn't play it or post it. But if they have a TikTok of it or an Instagram post, I will definitely play that. So thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate you looking it up.
Yeah, I wish I could see it. I did a quick searcheroo and I didn't find it.
Yeah.
Of what?
Anyway, of allegedly a fan video of.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But I get what Candy's saying for sure. Because that stuff gets messy.
Yeah, not a YouTube video. I'm not trying to get anybody coming after me.
Yeah, no.
Leave me alone. I'm over here in my Katie Kate corner. Minding my business. I'm good.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, so I think she's going to bring on a friend. I don't know who is going to pretend to be this girl. Like, who is she actually going to bring on? Because I can't see it going any other way.
I'm sure she can find some fake new friend that wants to be on TV, though.
Oh, they need to bring Tanisha on.
It sounds like it.
So she can gather her, and somebody can actually. But I, to be honest with you, I do want Monica to come back for one more season with this caveat: only if the other women are prepared to gather her and hold her feet to the fire, snatch all of her edges for every single lie she has told. And it's a really stay on her next season. But if it's like, oh, Monica, let's kumbaya, episode 1, they're gonna go to Joshua Tree and have some, and we're
Yeah,
gonna
absolutely
la. We're gonna
not.
talk to rocks and drink some coca and call
Not
it a
talk
freaking
to
day.
rocks.
No, I don't need a sound bath. I don't need Joshua Tree. I need you to stay on her neck all day, every single day. That's the only reason why I would want her to come back. Other than that, me personally, bye-bye. But I think you're right, Jacob. I do think she'll be back for sure.
She'll be back. I think they're gonna be forced. When Heather sang that, and I'm like, I'm never gonna film with her again. I'm like, Heather, I'm sorry. I don't think
If
they're
Ariana's,
gonna get rid of her.
that never works
for you.
Yeah,
it didn't
that
even
never
work
works.
with Teresa and Melissa, and they're both.
That has never been successful in the
Yep.
history of Real Housewives. So it's not going to start with you, sweetie.
Basically.
Which oh, Heather. And I believe who said it, that Heather's the one with the biggest ego since the show. I can't remember who said that.
I don't know. I heard it. I think
I
it was a
believe
Reddit
it.
thing or something. I've heard that too.
And I so believe it now, because she has shown us who she really is in the past, year and a half or so. And for her to actually
that
say
humble
that,
stuff is an act.
Right. And for her to say, oh, I'm never going to film with her. Why do you
Girl.
think that's even possible? Like, I truly do think that she does think that she is the face of the show. And
I mean, that's what Ariana said about Tom.
I was just going to say that.
She wasn't going to film with him for Vanderpump
Cut to her
Rules.
ass, like, on, the beach with him.
Cut to
now they're
group
separating a
yeah, girl, like, them literally walking past each other. Yeah, no. That doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Are we into Pump Rules? I kind of feel
I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm very curious to see.
She goes, okay.
Season. No, because it's rare that we see these shows where someone's like, I'm literally like, there's no way you can get me to film with this person, and then see it. Because in a lot of those types of situations, one of them does end up leaving. Not necessarily like, oh, we have yielded to what you want, but more so because no one else is going to film with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Giselle and all them try to pull.
Right.
Because if no one films with you, you lose your spot. So they
Typically,
try to go about it that way. But when they actually go about it, like, go up to the producers and be like, I won't film. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know. She's gonna bring someone on, and she's gonna be right back in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
In the mix.
It's gonna be ridiculous to watch, but I think it'll be fun to watch them all squirm, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun. I don't know, but yeah, after Vanderpump Rules, I'm definitely gonna watch. I think it's gonna be good-ish. I think it'll be like better than last season.
Well, last season was only good because of, like, we were all like psycho Inspector Gadgets, like, with our magnifying glasses, watching every episode. Otherwise, without that context, we would have been like yawning,
right,
and annoyed.
And so I'm saying, like, I don't think it's gonna be like, earth shattering. I think it'll be better than last season, and I think it'll just be like, okay, cool. Like, we could have done without it. That's also what I think. I don't think we really need it.
I'm kind of annoyed.
What are we doing?
I'm just annoyed because I don't like it when they act like too Hollywood. Like, we watch a show because of their, like, we actually do watch Vanderpump Rules because of relatability and friendship or whatever. Like, it's not like Real Housewives, and because they had such national attention, and it's now the 11th season, it's just like, it's like they know they're famous, and it's just like this whole other, like, element that's just like not as cute anymore. I don't know.
So you're saying they, like, aged out of the premise of the show?
Yeah, well, we've been saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jay.
But it's like, it's like glaringly obvious at this point. Like it's over, like it's way too far gone. Like 5 years ago, none of them worked at the show, and we're still with them. And how many did it get someone new?
I
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does anybody know where to find? Do you remember when Coach Shaw used to read Jen letters or something like this?
Oh, wasn't it on like their YouTube or their website or something? Because remember she was like, "Give me your email address," and I don't know who's giving Jen Shaw their email address, but it was like, "Give me your information and you can join this site or something." Remember they were trying to do like a paid site?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't remember that. Yikes!
What?
Is it still up?
Yes, when Jen Shaw, it was during the time when I think it was before her sentencing, and she was like, "I'm gonna tell my truth." Yeah, I'm not gonna do.
Oh yeah, it was on a website,
and
and they're like, "Who is giving their information to this woman?"
No, because she said that she wasn't gonna do a sit down with Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live. She was gonna tell her truth behind a paywall, behind like her own site or whatever that you had to sign up for. So maybe it's on that. I don't know.
To her, like
ask Robin and Giselle. Maybe it's on their Patreon.
Oh my
gosh!
I'm wondering if
we
it's
know
still
what
up.
happened.
I don't know if it's still up or not. I don't know if it's being garnished by the government to pay back her restitution.
It probably
maybe
has
they made
to
her
be
take it
because they
down.
don't have any money. Well, actually, I don't know.
I don't think they have any money. But you know who the real? I think the real, and I said this since day one. I think the real culprit and brains behind everything that went down with Jen Shaw was Coach. I think he's so smart, so good, and so strategic. I think he knew exactly what Jen was doing. I think he helped her do it. But don't forget, he is a lawyer himself, and he knew how to keep his hands clean to an extent. But like I said, I think she took the plea because she didn't want both of them to go to jail. And Heather Gay said the same thing.
She did? I don't remember that.
Oh, let me refresh the mem.
I remember something like that. Yeah.
Yes, let me refresh the mem. I think it was at last year's reunion when Andy was like, "Oh, are you so surprised that she pleaded guilty?" And Heather was like, "Yeah, I'm surprised. You know, Coach was going through all the documents, and I think that he saw something in there, and like that's what made them do it. And like, you know, what is his culpability?" And the undertone was that like he had something to do with it. He realized he was going to also be implicated. And Jen basically was like, "I'll take the L for the family. Like Coach needs to be out here with the boys and I'll take the L since I'm the face of the company and all of that." And then don't forget, Coach already said that he understood and knew exactly what Jen's business was doing like 2 seasons before that on the reunion, because Andy asked him, "Do you understand her business?"
It's really wild how
"Yes,
he was
I
able to
understand."
avoid any.
And I think the reason why he was able to avoid being implicated was because she agreed to the plea deal.
Oh,
100%. Because also don't forget, she was not able to plead plausible deniability. Like, "Oh, I didn't know this was I didn't know this was illegal. I thought what I was doing was totally illegal," because the company that she worked for before she started her own scam did the same exact scheme. And that company got indicted, and she was deposed as a part of that because at that company she was just like an employee there. And then she went and started her own company with Stewart, who she met at that original company that got busted, and they had to pay back like millions of dollars in fines and everything. That's where she met Stewart. And then her and Stewart then started their own scam. So there's no way she could say that she didn't know what she was doing was wrong, because she literally was deposed because she was working for a company doing the same exact thing. And don't forget,
she also had other companies.
She also had other companies. Yep.
Which is why.
And
what
Coach
kind
Shaw
of narcissism?
was a lawyer. Remember, he was a lawyer, and he stopped actively practicing the same
Right
exact
when
year
she
that
got-
he opened up her business. Yep. Because he's not stupid. And I always said from day one, I was like, I don't trust Coach Shaw. I don't trust nice guys. I don't trust nice guys because I'm always
I don't trust guys that claim to be nice guys. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't
I
trust
trust
nice guys.
real nice guys. I'll trust, but
No,
not
I
ones that
trust.
go, "I'm a nice guy. I'm a
No,
trustable coach."
if you're
Hey.
nice, I don't trust you. If you're kind, I
Kind, yeah,
respect
that's what
it.
I meant. Kind.
Yeah, if you are
There's a
like
difference.
me, I'm a very kind person, but I'm not very nice, and I
I'm
don't
not
want to be
nice.
nice,
I'm very kind.
but I'm very
Exactly.
kind. Yeah, and I
That's
don't
how it
trust
should
him.
be. I
Coach
see it as
Shaw.
fake versus real.
This is the thing. Coach Shaw, I promise you, he was out there dipping it and doing it. Well, let me say allegedly. Allegedly, I promise you, he was out there dipping it and do it with whomever he wanted to dip and do it with. He had a very nice nest egg. I think he was squirreling money away, so he's very very comfortable, because I don't think the life he's living is on a basketball coach's salary. I just don't. And I think
But
that
he makes a lot.
he makes a lot, but I still but not the way they were living. Obviously, they had the
Absolutely
whole
not.
scam and
Absolutely
everything
not.
going on.
Correct.
It was way beyond. And I do think he makes a lot, but like the level of it, the
Correct.
lifestyle of it. And I think that he is very, very, very smart. Very smart. And I think he thought he had crossed all the T's and dotted the I's, but whatever he found in those papers, because we even saw it on camera. Remember when Heather and Meredith went to New York, and Seth too went to New York to be with them, and we had that scene where Coach Shaw was looking at all the documents either on the paper or maybe he had them printed out, and he was going through everything. And literally the next day was when she was like, "I'm guilty, Judd, take me away, clink clink." Whatever and Heather even said it, whatever he found in those paperwork was like, okay, you need to take the L. And
Yeah,
I think it was something that was
this.
going to implicate him. Because I don't see any other bargaining chip that
Be
would
like,
have made a
hey, we
person
won't
like
need a
Jen
trial
bow
if you
down.
leave my husband out of this.
Yeah, and she took the L for everybody, and I think he was the brains behind it. Because I think Jen Shaw, sure, she's smart, but I don't think she's that savvy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she was the face of it. I think she understood how everything was going. I think she was like, "Hey, coach, this marketing company I was working on, he understood what was going on." I think he was actually the puppet master. I think he was the wizard.
Oh, wow.
100%. Coach Shaw is not stupid. And that's why he still has his freedom. That's why he has the nest egg of money. And that's why he's dipping it and doing it with whoever he wants to dip it and do it in. And that's why Jen is up there doing Pilates with the chick from
One drop.
from the Dropout. Exactly, with Elizabeth Holmes. So the real MVP in the bad way is Coach Shaw. He got to keep the money. He got to do whatever he wants, and he has his freedom.
So he's the evil
and
genius.
you know what?
He's the evil genius.
I
and
do
the thing
think
is
that they have that money because all her stuff is safe.
Exactly. Where did the money go?
Do you remember? I definitely think those big lavish parties that were like 80 grand were washing money. But do you remember like when she first popped on the scene, like the first couple seasons, and one of the Dallas housewives was calling her out, being like, "You're renting, blah blah blah. This is all fake, blah blah blah." And she was going really in it. It might have been the redhead girl. I feel like I forget her name. Brandy, yeah.
I think you muted yourself. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. And also, like, no, it's okay. What was I going to say also about Coach Shaw and Jen? Like, yeah, I really think it was like him. I think he was the mastermind and she just rode with it. And that's where it landed because he has the freedom, he has the money. Oh, that's what I was going to say because I always like to keep the same energy. So I personally double down on my opinion that Erica Jane knew. So if Miss Little Erica Jane Pat the Puss knew, then definitely Mr. Coach Shaw Esquire knew. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm coming so hard for Erica, I got to keep that same energy for Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I guess I like honestly, like I was always just kind of like not interested in Jen. It was just weird. I don't know, like just our whole situation was odd and I didn't like really like dive into it like energetically. But you're right. He did have something off with him.
Yeah.
Like you said, that weird like him presenting himself as this character of like, oh, he's so nice. Like, yeah, that's a red flag.
It's the fake humility for me. Like, oh, everyone. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, guys. It's Coach Shaw. Like,
he has that like pastor, that like weird pastor vibe.
People like that are the ones who are doing the most dirt behind the scenes. The most dirtbag. I never trusted Coach Shaw, not from jump.
When they present themselves so sanctimonious, yeah. And
Yeah. I was like, I don't trust the nice guy. Never trust the nice guy.
Because if you ever meet someone who's genuine good, they don't act like that. So
No, they're kind to you, but they're not nice because nice.
They don't
has
advertise what they're doing yet. They don't present it. It's not like that. Yeah.
Well, because nice is always transactional. It's either I'm being
Exactly.
nice because
It's
I
surface
want you,
level.
It's like I'm being nice because I want you to think a certain thing about me, or
And
I'm
I
being
benefit from you
nice-
thinking that way.
Exactly. Or I'm being nice because I don't want you to actually look at what's going on. I want you to look over here. You know, I'm
Mhm.
being nice because you're gonna more likely to give me something or owe me something. You know, like it's being nice is for yourself because it's a transaction that you're gonna get something. Being kind is for the betterment of the other person. I did a whole podcast episode on nice versus kind.
I remember they say like how
Mhm.
East Coast, like West Coast will like if you have a flat tire, they'll be like, "Oh my God, I feel so bad for you," and keep driving. And the East Coast will pull over and be like, curse you out and tell you you're an idiot, but change your tire for you and make sure you're safe. But you'll
I
still get
read
like
something
be
like
told
that.
you were an idiot. Yeah.
Also, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
go Jay.
Okay. I think Whitney also is in some sort of fraud, because do you remember she knew all the things about Jen Shaw, and she was like this, oh yeah, like this, like this, like this. I was like, what's up, Whitney? Like, how do you know all that?
I think they all knew. I think
Oh
they all
yeah,
knew
Whitney
exactly
had
what
like
was
facts
they
on
all knew.
facts on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
And it
her
was like,
company
okay,
about
professional. Well, how do you know this?
I think her beauty
Mhm.
bow or beauty rose, I don't know. I think it's a scam. I don't
100%.
Yeah,
yeah, I
she
don't
devoted a whole last season to this, and then we're just not hearing about it.
like, who's buying it?
Well, she told us you could do a startup and write off up to $1 million or something. She said something along those lines. I'm like, oh, is that what you were doing, Whitney?
Basically.
I
See,
just assumed that she was starting her own MLM, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
No, because where is it?
Right.
I think it was. I don't understand like the exact scam, but I do think it was a scam. Somehow, them trying to wash money or launder money or write off money, because the way Justin had zero reaction to her allegedly squandering their life savings.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, they're
I was
in
like,
on
what
something.
is happening here?
They're in on something. They're using the whole like wild iris bow, wild rose skincare, saying that they spent all of these $100,000s of dollars to reband and buy her partner out. I'm like, what did they really use that money on? Or where did that money really come from? Or who are they trying to hide that money from? Because it's not on the skincare line. She had basically a pop-up shop at her friend's place as the launch. And it was in very much like you could go to like Amazon.com and get like regular plastic bottles and do a label from Kinko's and be like, here's my makeup line. Like, girl, stop. And what happened to it?
And she spent like 25K on it, and it was like so
She did not-
unnecessary, looked cheap.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's how much they say they spent, but how much did they really spend?
Yeah,
That's the
I
whole
think she's
thing.
lying about
you're right.
all that, because
That's
that
what I'm
Prism
saying.
jewelry is on. I saw the website, and that event looked much more like an actual event for an actual product.
Yep.
Versus that iris and bow stuff, because it's like because this is just last year. Like, you couldn't afford to do a actual event. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, we saw this season what I believe was an actual event. So how come you didn't do the same for your previous business?
The reason why is
because it's fake.
Exactly. And Prism is an actual brand that it's not her brand. She's basically just like an influencer for it. Like no, she's basically like the face of it. Because remember, she introduced the two women and she was like, these are the designers and everything.
Right.
But
I thought it was like a Kyle and Shahida type thing.
Not Shahida.
I thought it was like a glorified influencer. Like, she's like the influencer face of it. And it was basically like
Hmm.
an influencer event. That's
Oh,
how I took
interesting.
it,
So
but
that's
maybe
why
I'm
the
wrong.
event.
And that's
Oh.
why, because it was like legit, because Prism is actually, it's a real brand, and she's just sort of like the face of it.
Wait, so you knew about this brand before or no?
Yeah, I don't know if I knew
Oh.
about this particular. I don't know if I knew about this particular brand, but I do know a lot about these particular type of campaigns. They
Right.
usually
Okay.
get like big people on Instagram or TikTok or reality stars, anybody with a big following, and the brand itself already exists. And basically
Hmm.
what they do is they leverage that person's audience, and they'll be like, okay, you can do like a capsule collection where you like design this or you design that, and you can be the face on it. You will put your stuff on the website, but that person doesn't actually own the brand. They're basically just like the face of it for marketing and advertising.
Mm.
Hmm.
Because
Well, it
remember,
sounds like a
Whitney
very
was like,
Utah
here are
thing.
the designers and all that stuff. I
Yes.
think Whitney is more of just like the face of it, and they're just like paying her because she has a following and she's on TV. It's like a
Right. Oh,
glorified
interesting.
influencer. Hmm.
Mm.
I don't
No, I
don't
don't
think
know.
Whitney is like designing.
Oh no!
You know what
I
I
just
mean?
assumed she threw her name on it. But I didn't think of it in the sense that it's a whole established brand that's just like, hey, we're gonna use you. I assumed that it was
That's what I,
more
yeah.
like,
Yeah, she doesn't
oh,
exactly
you're the
come across
designer,
creative genius.
right? But
Yeah.
but I just thought, I don't know. I guess I just thought it was, oh, you're the designer. We're gonna call it what
Yeah,
I
she's calling
now am the
herself a,
quote unquote designer. You know what I mean? Like how Kyle's a
yeah.
designer.
On the
Girl.
yeah, on the website she's calling herself the co-founder
Oh
Oh
wow.
wow, really?
and founder of Wild Rose Beauty,
Oh
co-host of
girl.
Wild
And
Rose
where's that
podcast.
girl?
Where is that? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm in the website. It's still
Yeah.
up.
Wild
But who's
Rose?
buying it? Yeah. Like nobody's
No one's
buying
buying
that.
that
Nobody's
mess.
buying that. And how come she's not even talking about it?
That's what I
Like
Yeah.
that's
mean.
like,
That's a big part.
she's not talking about it.
Why
That's
aren't we
the
seeing
problem.
scenes of her like talking about the brand, like going to work with it, and like, yeah. Oh, I'm really stressed out because I've been, Wild Rose has been really selling a lot. I have a lot of this campaigns going on. I have to take this business trip, blah blah blah. Like, why aren't we hearing that?
Right.
Yeah,
know?
why
We
isn't
would
she,
have
and
heard
also
something.
why isn't she using it?
Yeah, that too. Hi.
Why isn't she using it, promoting it? She should have a Wild Rose events, something.
Yeah.
To me, it's giving glorified influencer.
Yeah. I don't know. These people are a mess.
They are a mess. You guys, I am tired though.
Me too. I had enough of these people for right now.
Oh no! Bye, Jacob. Jacob fell off.
Jacob's like, see ya. All right.
Love you, Jacob.
Thanks for having us once again.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye. As
Bye.
always, thank you. Bye. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Natusky. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, my beautiful panel. Thank you, everybody in the chat box. Shout out to Deb, Kelly, Jordan, Miss T. Who else was in here? Kelly, Gustav, procrastination. There's so many people. I love you guys. As always, this was so much fun. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye.